Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are the West.
For the past 2 seasons, the AL West crown has resided in Arlington.
Darvish delivers. He got him swinging.
And with it, a size 15 silver cowboy boot.
A majestic home run for Nomar Mazara.
Both unsettling for the Rangers' neighbor to the south.
Fire side on to first. In time, the Rangers win it.
With both up for grabs in 2017, the Lone Star Series saga will begin with tempers flaring.
Look out. Here they come. Everybody in.
The Astros drew first blood in Houston.
The Astros have done it again.
It's likely the victors of the season series between these two rivals will finish as kings of the West.
Elvis Andrus the opposite way.
With 12 head-to-head matchups still to go, it's anyone's guess where the crown will lie come October. The road to AL West supremacy continues.
And welcome to Texas Rangers baseball presented by AT&T. The road trip continues for the Texas Rangers down to the Bayou City. It's game 1 of our 3-game series in this Lone Star Series. Great in-state rival. There's been some good intensity early in this season as the Rangers visiting the AL West division leaders, the Houston Astros. Welcome everybody. Dave Raymond with CJ Nikowski. It's always fun when we get these two teams together. There's no question about that. Texas Rangers know they've got their work cut out for them tonight and these next couple of days, in part because these Astros can put up some big numbers.
They certainly can, and when you have 44 wins on June 12th, you know the numbers are going to line up in the favor of the Astros. But here's what really sticks out. Leading baseball right now, American League with that 277 batting average, but second in home runs. They're doing it both ways, right? It's not just a contact team, but it's a power team as well. They do a great job of getting on base as well, and the pitching has also been very strong.
Now, you did see there, though, they've lost 4 of their last 6. They've incurred a number of very big injuries right now to their pitching staff. So maybe in a bit of a scuffle right now. The Rangers, meanwhile, they've been playing great baseball, and largely because maybe the most important part of the team has gotten hot, and that has been the pitching.
And especially going up against the Washington Nationals up in D.C. They were fantastic against that great lineup. It started off Friday night with Andrew Casher delivering a very nice start. Then Martin Perez carrying it into Saturday. And then maybe the best start of the weekend, Austin Bibbins-Dirk at one point retiring 19 straight Nationals. He gets his first win as the starter. But the bullpen as well, they chipped in. You see Matt Bush here finishing off that game with a very nice play. But maybe my favorite guy to watch in the star, in my opinion, was Alex Claudio, coming up so big in big situations. The entire bullpen really did chip in and did an excellent job pitching all around. They're going to have to do it again now against another tough lineup here in Houston.
Yeah, very enjoyable couple of days in Washington, and now the challenge here with this Houston Astros team. Now, Darvish has the start here in game 1. He's had some ups and downs against this team, but recently has pitched very well here.
Yeah, for some reason, Minute Maid Park just really works for Darvish. And listen, as a pitcher, there are certain mounds sometimes that you get on and you're just comfortable, and the dimensions of the ballpark don't always matter. It's a short left field porch here in Houston. We know that, but that hasn't been an issue for Darvish. Very comfortable here when we're down in Houston. You see the strikeouts, you see the ERA, all good things. The great slider, listen, it works anywhere, but it has worked especially well in Houston for Darvish.
A lot of things going well early on this road trip for the Texas Rangers, and one of those things has been team speed. Whether it's Elvis Andrus or Delano DeShields or anybody right now on the bases, they've been running wild, and we'll put that team speed in the spotlight when we come back.
Welcome back to Houston and to Minute Maid Park, where the Rangers get ready to face the Astros in the first of a 3-game series. Of course, they played really well in Washington, D.C., thanks in large part to some aggressive base running. On Sunday, they got a double steal. That led to the go-ahead run. That's the way the Rangers want to play. As we take a look at our Shiner Lifelong Spotlight, the Rangers had 21 stolen bases on 22 attempts since May 20th. The good news, the Astros have allowed second most in the majors this season. Should be interesting here tonight. Jeff Bannister told me this is who the Rangers are. When they're playing with a lot of confidence, they like to take risks because they give rewards. Of course, we will have much more next as we start to look at the Rangers lineups for tonight and get you ready for the first pitch from here in Houston.
.com/keep calm to learn more. By Budweiser, not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. And by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Well, from downtown Houston, all set to go tonight. Opening game in this 3-game series, Rangers and Astros. Let's take a look at our Southwest starting lineup. For the Texas Rangers, 30 wins, 32 losses. Delano to Shields in that top spot in center field, formerly of this Astros system. Chu has been red hot for the Rangers lately, batting second. Beltr&e in the cleanup spot. Lucroy the DH today. That's because Robinson Chirinos pretty good behind the plate with Darvish.
Yeah, he has been very good. But let's take a look at the arsenal of Joe Musgrove, and you see it there. Lots of fastball usage, 51% of the time, averaging 93 miles an hour. The slider is the go-to, and it is a good one for him, sitting around 83. You'll also see some changeups, some curveballs, the occasional cutter at right around 90 miles an hour. And behind Joe Musgrove tonight, let's take a look at the Astros defense and who'll be out there. Oakey, Springer, and Reddick in the outfield. Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Gurriel will be at first. Brian McCann behind the plate tonight. We'll keep a close eye on what is happening behind the plate because we know the Rangers will run. They've been very good, very efficient at running this year. The Astros have really struggled to hold down opposing base stealers, so this can get a little bit interesting in this series.
All right, so all eyes will be on McCann. Joe Musgrove, a young guy, 24 years old, and he's a big fella, 6'5", 240 pounds. Some of the broadest shoulders you'll see out of the mound. He has the start today, just off the disabled list. He'd had some discomfort in his shoulder. Put him on the DL. Today activated for this start, but it's just more news, it seems, every day for this Astros team as he comes off. Lance McCullers Jr. was placed on the disabled list today with lower back soreness. We'll get into that a little bit later, but they have struggled recently through a lot of injuries in their rotation. Musgrove is ready, and we are underway. Strike one delivered to Delino to Shields. I see the numbers for Shields, a 350 on base. He's done a great job continuing to set the table for this team. Holds off and on appeal. Carlson down at first. Says DeShields went around.
That's the good slider from Musgrove, one that finished out of the strike zone, but big break, sweeping break, but also very good downward breaks, almost looking as big as a curveball at times.
This time won't get Delino to chase it. 1-2 the count.
You bring up the build of Musgrove, and you can see it, right? It's the guy that, you almost remember Kyle Farnsworth was one of those big guys, big back, big shoulders. Well, interesting because it's draft day, right? And you sit there and try to project pitchers. These are the kind of bodies that get scouts excited.
Well, a swing and a foul tip. McCann couldn't squeeze it, so the at-bat will continue for DeShields.
Long, lanky, broad shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we've seen guys that aren't very big and dominate. Certainly here in Houston, Royals was one of those guys. You get small pitchers. Mike Hampton, another one who pitched for these Astros and did a really nice job. But if you're building a pitcher, this is kind of body type to start with.
Now they had, you know, it's funny you mentioned that, though, because they have had success.
Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner comes to mind, yeah. Of course, even offensively, you go way back in their history. A guy like the toy cannon, Jimmy Wynn.
Right.
This one shot out to right field. Reddick right there in position and retires DeShields for the first time of the ball game.
Love the toy cannon. I got to spend an entire season with Jimmy Wynn. He was our hitting coach in AAA one year back in 1997. Great guy, humble guy for having the career that he had. And you tell me if I'm wrong here, but that nickname came from Reggie Jackson, did it not? I believe Reggie Jackson said when Jimmy Wynn hits the baseball, it's like coming out of a small toy cannon.
Yeah, and
getting on him because he was small.
And by the way, pound for pound, when you talk about guys' power, I don't know that there are many who can compare in terms of the power that he used to generate from a very small frame. And his number 24 hangs in the rafters here. Shin-Soo Choo batting second tonight. Talk about power from, I won't say unexpected sources, but let's just say guys you're not leaning on in that regard. Well, Choo comes to mind. 9 home runs now. Another big one yesterday. And it's this ball hard, but right to first, and Gurriel is there to haul it in. So 2 out for Joe Musgrove. 4 wins, 4 losses. Earned run average of .484 for Musgrove. He has given up, though, 9 home runs and 53 1/3 innings coming into play tonight.
And batting average has been very high from both lefties and righties. The home run 6 for righties, 3 for lefties. But how about 283 versus left-handed hitters, 295 batting average against. And so the hits and the contact have been a little bit of an issue for a guy that'll strike out hitters at right around league average, a little bit under 7.3. Decent command, 2.9 walks per 9 innings.
He'll deal with Elvis Andrus now. 2 out, nobody on in the first. Andrus on a 15-game hitting streak. Ahead here, 2-0. It's the longest active hitting streak in baseball right now. And a hit tonight. Give him his longest in his career. Tied, anyway, as he takes a strike. You look at the overall numbers, but For Elvis on this streak, a .385 average with a little bit of power, a couple of home runs. Comes up empty here, 2-2. Andrews also with 7 home runs, so more power this year than he has had in past years, and he keeps this one foul out of play. All right, our TXU Energy power player to watch tonight, well, it is Elvis Andrews. How about the numbers he's put up against the Astros?
You'd love to see that 400 batting average. The OPS, of course, driving the ball for some power, getting on base. If you're going to dominate one team, certainly the one within your division, a rival, will be the one to do it against.
Well, Bregman at the other end of that ground ball takes care of Andrews, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the first for Joe Musgrove. Darvish is here.
Have head, will travel.
Let's take a look at the Houston Astros lineup that he will face tonight. George Springer in that leadoff spot, and he has been productive this year against the Rangers. You can say that about a handful of guys. Reddick in there at right field batting second. The DH is Carlos Beltran. Bregman at third. Aoki in left field rounds it out.
And we'll take a look at Darvish and the arsenal now. 50% fastball split up between the 4 and the 2-seamer. The slider, of course, is the go-to. We've talked about that pitch a lot. How about a 155 batting average against that slider this year? Now, he doesn't use the curveball very often. That has also been a very effective pitch for him. Just an 0.95 batting average against. And you got the cutter in there as well. It will sit around 90 miles an hour.
All right, so Darvish waiting patiently. Now he's ready, and so is Springer. Dangerous right-handed hitter. Springer with a lot of power out of that leadoff spot. You see right there, 17 home runs. And he's had some success against Darvish in his career.
See those numbers there, a couple of home runs, 400 batting average, and you would think, George Springer, aggressive swinger. Darvish is an extremely uncomfortable at bat for most right-handed hitters. They're hitting just 203 against him this year, but for George Springer, for whatever the reason, sees the ball pretty well against Darvish.
1 ball, 1 strike. And a little tapper. That one is by Darvish. Good charge by Beltr&e, and the throw to first in time. They get Springer charging down the line, 1 away.
Darvish gave his best effort, but I think he realized at the last second that he would be better off not touching this baseball, because even if he caught it clean, by the time he made the turn, there probably wasn't going to be a play at first base. And here comes Beltr&e, who just continues to get it done. We're a little bit worried about those legs, but obviously he is feeling good tonight. And then Joey Gallo, who has been very good at first base. It really has been a seamless transition when you watch his defense. The picks have been very good. The stretches have been very good. There was some talk about what would be the best position for Joey Gallo once Adrian came back, and we were led to believe maybe it was going to be the outfield, but he's fit in very nicely at first base.
I'm talking to him the other day about that, and he said, you know, the transition, he likes it. You know, it's definitely different. He's like, you have reactions on the corners, especially with left-handed hitters like this guy, Josh Reddick. But he said it's been more comfortable than he'd imagined over there. Now a base hit to the right side, handled by Odor, and there are 2 away.
Well, we already talked about Joey Gallo, but let's take a look at the rest of the Rangers defense, which is delivered to you by Chicken Express. Nomar Mazara back in left field, Delano DeShields in center, and of course Chu in right. Beltr&e, who made that great play against George Springer to start this game off. Elvis Andrus, Odor, and Gallo at first. And you mentioned Robinson Chirinos back there tonight. The job that he has done with Yu Darvish, very comfortable together. I don't think Yu Darvish necessarily very easy guy to catch, right? Deep repertoire, live stuff. You have to work pretty hard. Robinson Chirinos has done a very nice job when he is with Yu Darvish.
So now Jose Altuve. He's usually up there swinging. Bounces this one to the left side. Long throw for Andrus in time. And they get Altuve in a very close play at first. So 1-2-3 for Yu Darvish.
And how about the Rangers flashing some leather here in the first inning? Adrian Beltr&e just out of his reach, but Elvis Andrus there to save the day.
Inning. On the way, Father's Day this Sunday. Treat your dad to tickets to a Rangers game. First 15,000 fans, 14 and older, get a Father's Day cheesy Rangers shirt, courtesy of Dr. Pepper and Kroger. Just come on out to the ballpark. Rangers and Mariners, 2:05 game on Sunday. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Well, that first inning, 15 pitches needed by Joe Musgrove, 6 for Darvish. Very efficient by both sides as we go to the second. Adrian Beltr&e leading it off.
Both of these guys in Musgrove and Darvish very similar as far as what they have averaged this year on their innings. Their pitches per inning pitch. I love Adrian Beltr&e there. No call. Asking for an appeal just in case they were thinking about making a call. Keeping it loose. But Darvish 16.6 pitches per inning pitched. Musgrove 16.8.
Swing and a miss.
Take a look here at the overall numbers for Joe Musgrove. So the 10 games, 4-4 record, his exact record that he had a year ago. Good strikeout to walks. You're happy with that, but the hits and the home runs have been a little bit of an issue.
Musgrove got a fly out, a line out, and a ground out in the first. Mentioned coming off the disabled list, his previous start was a beauty. He went 7 innings against the Orioles, 7 shutout innings, no walks, 4 hits, and he struck out 6. Beltr&e just gets a piece of that one to stay alive. Adrian, average at .333. Recently back off the disabled list, and surprising when we got to Washington to see him ready to go on Friday. He hurt his ankle in the homestand as he hits this one hard out to left field. And that one a tough play for a Hokie. Wow. Stayed with it though, and that is out number 1.
Well, there's no sun, so we know that wasn't it. So it obviously must have been the lights or the way this ball came off. Maybe it was knuckling a little bit, but his reaction was, I can't see this ball very well. I have a pretty good idea of where it is, but make you turn it into a diving play. This part's the end's the best. Right, he's there. He did a nice job of battling those lights, but the catch and fall afterwards, tuck and roll, very nice by Oak.
I'd see the catch probability on that one.
I'd like to think it'd be 100%. He
Right?
turned it into 4, but
one out, and
catchable ball.
now Mazara takes that backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Great numbers for Mazara against Musgrove. You see the 2 home runs, 5 for 11. But in a hole here, no balls and 2 strikes. Mazara 0 for 3 yesterday. Did have the sacrifice fly though. He's hit in 5 of the last 6 games. Seems to have settled in a little bit. Getting into a bit of a groove lately. And hits this ball on the ground left side. Waiting for it, Bregman, and he'll hustle it across in time. Mazara retired. So 2 outs. We'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's going by pretty quickly. It's one thing when you have the long innings and you kind of lose track of what's going on. You should see Bregman fielding this ball and delivering a nice sort of Gurriel. It was getting excited. He'd like to get back in the dugout. He is due up 4th next inning. But we do play 3 in this league.
Here's Lucroy. That's got to be a little embarrassing, right?
It is, but it happens. We see it enough. It happens a pretty decent amount. Not just the players. We make our mistakes. In front of the camera, behind the camera. We sometimes lose track of outs.
It'd be the smallest of our concerns when it comes to mistakes. Lucroy is the DH today. And hits this ball out to center field. It'll drop in, base hit. So there's the first base run of the night for either team. A couple years ago here, it was Lance Berkman. I say a couple years ago, many years ago, I guess.
You see this slider real quick from Musgrove. Out over the plate a little bit, but not a terrible pitch. For Jonathan Lucroy has just been swinging a very good bat. Saw the big home run that he hit up in Washington, but also the base hits. And that's why Jeff Bannister's comfortable using him as the DH. Not all the time, but some of the times when Robinson Chirinos is catching.
Breaking ball to Rougned Odor. Odor batting 7th tonight. 206 average. Wait, Berkman years ago here, he was playing, might have been first base. For some reason, I think it was out in right field, and he forgot the number of outs. Came running in, got pretty far. And he stopped and he called the trainer out and pretended that he'd gotten some dirt or something in his eyes and put on a whole show just to sort of cover the fact that he had forgotten the number of outs.
It's quick thinking, right? Great way to cover your mistake by Lance.
some of his better work with those spots. 1 ball, 1 strike on Odor. Nice strike call earned by Musgrove, and it's 1-2.
We'll take a look at it here, and this could be a little bit of a difficult night if elevated fastballs get called strikes. That's probably right near the top of the strike zone, but I say that because Musgrove's got the good slider, so if he gets the fastball call up there and the slider down, that's a lot of plate to have to cover.
Good smother back there by McCann. It's 2-2. Musgrove, I mentioned that last outing, went 7 scoreless against Baltimore. He threw 102 pitches. It was the second highest total of pitches he's thrown in a start. It is worth noting because he went on the disabled list after that start with soreness in the shoulder. And Odor hits this one out to the power alley left field. That one's going to travel all the way to the wall. Lucroy with 2 outs got a good start. They'll wave him to the plate. He scores. Heading to third base, Odor, and he's in there with a triple. Rangers lead at 1-0 as Odor found a lot of real estate in left field.
It was a great 2-strike approach from Rougned Odor. We talk about him having all that pull power, but how about driving this ball in the gap the other way? And also excellent base running. Check this out, never slowing down, never hesitating, even picking it up a little bit there at the end, and he is in very safely into third base as Alex Bregman put that tag down just in case, but he had absolutely no chance of getting Odor there. That's a big 2-out opposite field triple from Rougned Odor.
So the first run of the game is in, and it gets Joey Gallo to the plate now. Gallo with the typical shift against him. 3 infielders on the right side, and Bregman playing close at third. There's just an enormous amount of room between third and second base. Look at that.
It is incredible. Now, Bregman stays close, of course, to Odor. And we've seen it before, right? We saw it actually in that last series where he could get off really far, could be a little bit uncomfortable. But, you know, what's so interesting to me about those guys hanging out so close together, you remember the WBC. Alex Bregman threw out a very, it wasn't a direct tweet, but everybody knew about Rougned Odor bat flipping a ball that did not get out of the ballpark and basically called him out.
Gallo, speaking of going out, this one hit well to right field, back to the wall, and that one is off the fence. Gallo around second, he'll head to third, an RBI triple, and the Rangers lead it 2-0. And now the ball gets away. Here comes Gallo. They go to the plate. Got him. Wow. Now Jeff Bannister out immediately, says, hang on, we might want to look at something here.
Well, he knows this. He wants to talk to C.B. Buckner about maybe what happened and potentially taking a look to see whether or not this ball was a home run. I got to believe that is maybe the first question here. Let's watch Josh Reddick go up. We're going to have to get another look. Hard to see there, but it might have caught that kid's glove. It didn't look like it necessarily caught the wall clean, and it does look like it may have hit actually the man's glove right there. And then, of course, we had the play at the plate as well as the ball got away. That is incredible. Actually, a very heads-up play by Joe Musgrove, so give him some credit as well. But I got to believe that the Rangers would like this umpiring crew to take a closer look at whether or not this ball was a home run or not. I don't know. I thought it might have hit that guy's glove.
Now, it's really hard to tell on the angle that we got. And Bannister's still out there working with C.B. Buckner and Mark Carlson.
And this could be a crew chief review. These are the ones that we're allowed to sit there and talk to these guys. Hey, man, you guys need to look at this. Not a challenge, but put it on the umpires to say you probably need to take a look at this ball. Now, you never know with Jeff Banner. There's always something else that he sees that I feel like we don't even always see. And he may be asking for something else in this, but I have a feeling they're going to look to see whether or not this ball cleared the fence.
And what's interesting about this is that little conference that they took to get together. And it seems as if as you're pointing out, that Jeff Bannister put the onus on them to double check their own work versus challenging it himself. It's not clear just yet, but this one is certainly being looked at.
All right, let's take a look at this ball now. Very difficult to see, but I saw that one guy come in with his glove to the left. I can't tell, man. Maybe that hit the top of the wall. It just seems like it took kind of an awkward bounce, too. I think as part of it. Yeah, I guess it did stay in.
Yeah, I think that one stayed in. I don't think you're going to get a call on that one coming off.
Ooh, that's a little bit closer than I thought. We'll see.
That one's very close.
Probably too close to get overturned. But this one, I think, when Jeff Bannister, like you said, is putting the onus on them, that means, hey, this is on you guys, because that's a crew chief review, right? Potential home run. So that's one where he's saying it's not a challenge unless he's challenging the plate home plate. That's a little bit different.
So you see that a lot more conversation than usual, quite honestly, from our local crew heading back to New York. Oftentimes they throw on those headsets and there's very little conversation at all.
Unless they see something that we didn't, I believe that's going to be ruled a triple. And it does seem like Joey Gallo will probably be ruled out at home if Jeff Bannister is even challenging that. We don't know for sure. And that's one of the issues we have with replays, that steady communication for us, that we know what's going on, so we have an idea exactly what they're looking at, because there's always multiple options.
Worst case scenario, we know this. It's 2-0 because Odor is run, scored on the triple by Gallo. And then that subsequent play at the plate, that's an entirely different play. And by the way, very heads-up play by both Musgrove and really by Gallo to catch it and take off for the plate, even though he was called out. And now Carlson going to give the explanation to Jeff Bannister.
And I got to believe this is going to be on the home run. Really curious to what he is asking for. They're going to go back to the headset.
Okay. So I think the question there was, is there something other than the boundary call that you want to challenge? In other words, now, do you want to challenge? Do you want to challenge, let's say, the play at the plate? Because that's on you if you're going to do it.
All right, let's take a look one more time here on this ball, just out of the reach of Josh Reddick. Yeah, it does look like it caught the top of the wall and just took a weird bounce. I think that was part of it, too. You see it right there. Looks like that's catching yellow. Yep, the ball never disappears. So that is definitely a home run. Then you got this one here. That's a tough look there. That's close. Hard to tell where his hand is and exactly where home plate is.
Yeah, I think the boundary call is going to be a very quick review here, if that's indeed all that's being reviewed. Here we go. We'll get our ruling.
Safe on the triple and out of home. So they did ask for a review at home. Right, if they pointed at home and gave that out sign, to me that tells me that Jeff Bannister asked them to review that.
All right, so the Rangers will have to settle for 2. We've played 1.5. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, And Yu Darvish back to work. He'll see Carlos Correa, Carlos Beltran, and Brian McCann in the second. Well, back-to-back triples for the Rangers. And look at the first couple runs of this game. Strike one on Correa. Gallo just missed that home run a moment ago. This ball lifted to the right side, but foul and not a play. All right, our Kubota power stats tonight. We watch Yu Darvish. That strikeout rate against the Astros. Wow.
I mentioned it in the open as we went through that. Better than 34% on the strikeout rate against this team. And like I said, there are certain places where you just feel very comfortable. I'd be curious to really start digging in how many times maybe that's with the roof closed, which is pretty often here, right? In Houston, of course, Yu Darvish, when he pitched for the Nippon Ham Fighters in Sapporo, Hokkaido, Japan, was a dome. Always inside, right? I always wonder about that. Maybe comfort level for him a little bit. The body feel a little bit different as a feel, maybe closer to home than what he did throughout most of his career pitching in Japan.
Off the plate, it's 2-2 on Correa. Now working with a little run support early on. This an Astros team that had been beyond hot this month. Just went on an incredible run, but lately the club has tripped up just a touch. They've lost 4 of their last 6, and they have seen just a rash of injuries to their starting rotation. Now, not huge ones. That's the thing. Seems to be a lot of concern around here. But the injuries thus far have not been real debilitating ones to the various starters in this Astros rotation.
And I think they're also in a spot because they've gotten off to such a great start and have a nice lead in the American League West. They can be a little bit more cautious with guys, right? I mean, okay, well, a little bit of a back stiffness here. Let's go ahead and skip one.
Correa chases strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Yu Darvish.
It's not to say that you don't take them seriously, but I do think there's something to having that nice, comfortable lead. You see a slider here from Yu Darvish out of the strike zone, and Carlos Correa goes fishing, cannot lay off of that after Darvish tried to elevate it fastball. He actually missed pretty badly down. He missed with that pitch as well, but Carlos Correa could not hold up.
Still 1 away. Veteran switch hitter Carlos Beltran. Just a .237 batting average this year. But as always, a threat for some power. 8 home runs. Popped in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Look at the among active players, extra base hits. Adrian Beltre still with the lead on Beltran. Albert Pujols at the top of that list. 2-1 the count.
Certainly a couple of greats in our game. Adrian Beltre, Carlos Beltran, long distinguished careers, guys that are making their way up some pretty important lists in our game.
Check that swing. No, he did not. It's 2-2.
Let's take a look here at Carlos Beltran and whether or not he actually did hold up.
Very close.
Sometimes as a veteran hitter, maybe you get a little extra love. I'm not saying that's the case necessarily with CD, but it was close.
Darvish is 2-2, and he floats that one off the plate. As we saw those numbers there for Beltran and extra base hits. When you start to narrow the list to switch hitters, only Eddie Murray has had more extra base hits. 1,099 in Murray's career. 3-2, and this one bounced on the ground right side. Odor a couple of steps to his left. There are 2 away. Well, tonight we're participating in the home run challenge. Every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $2.5 million have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Rangers leading 2-0. Brian McCann. Well, the hitter is Darvish, getting some ground balls early on here tonight. And this ball lined over first, and that one was a loud strike. McCann with the 9 home runs, one of a number of Astros who's had some success driving in runs. They've scored a lot of runs, but 31 RBIs for McCann. He's in a hole though, 0-2. McCann on a little 5-game hitting streak, over which he has 9 hits. Spent some time on the disabled list this year, the 7-day concussion disabled list, as he bloops this one over third and foul. But with the shift, Beltr&e unable to get anywhere near it, and so the count stays 0-2.
All right, so we got some good information on the back-to-back triples, right? We're kind of wondering how long, when was the last time the Rangers did it? August 3rd, 2006, at the Los Angeles Angels. Hank Blaylock and Mark DeRosa did it in the 6th inning against Jerry Weaver. 11 years ago almost, on my mother's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Whenever. two strike pitch. There's a swing and a foul tip. McCann stays alive. Darvish has retired the first 4 he has faced. McCann, this year, he's walking at a career high rate. A little more patient. He's also striking out at a career low rate, or at least his lowest rate like the last 10 years. And he hits this one out to left field. Back goes Mazara, but room out there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Yu Darvish. And so we go to the 3rd tonight. Rangers leading 2-0. Limited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. It's the Major League Draft today, and I don't know a lot on a lot of these guys. I do know Hunter Green. I've seen that young man play, high schooler from California, and the Cincinnati Reds got themselves a very good young player there. A lot of high schoolers early in this draft. I thought maybe Brendan McKay, the two-way player from Louisville, might go a little bit higher.
Yeah, Hunter Green as well, right? So interesting, Notre Dame High School, of course, that's where Giancarlo Stanton also went to high school. So a couple of big name players. Hunter Green obviously hoping to join the ranks as a guy who becomes very successful at the big league level. But as a lot of people know, the Major League Baseball draft is so much different than the other sports, right? Because guys are still so far away. It's a development sport. Even for your high draft picks that come out of college, some will still take longer than others. Some fly through the system really quickly. Alex Bregman, of course, one of those guys here in Houston. It moved along very quickly, but you just never know what's going to happen. There's so much more risk in the Major League Baseball draft than there are, I think, in those other sports. Think about guys that are playing SEC football or big-time college football. They're not that far off from playing in the NFL. Yeah, the NFL is significantly better, but it's pretty close. This is a little bit different with baseball. You're trying to project talent, and you never know what the guy's going to do once he has to play baseball for 6 months against the best in the world.
Chirinos leading up the third inning. A bouncer in the hole. It's short. Correa with that strong arm throws him out, one away in the third. Time for us to take a Chevy game break as we send it back to Dana Larson. All right, thanks, Dana. One away here. And lineup turned over. Delano to Shields. He's 0 for 1. Fly out to right field. 2-0 Rangers leading. You're talking about draft day. Delano, a first-round pick. In fact, he was picked first by the Houston Astros. 8th overall selection in that draft. And the funny thing about that was, Delano, growing up, he said since the time he was a little kid, maybe 9 years old, he was a third baseman. And up until high school, through his junior year in high school, senior year, his team was without a center fielder. Well, he was basically the best athlete on the team. And they said, hey, can you play a little center field? He said, sure. So they put him in center field his senior year of high school. The Astros drafted him. And they said, don't bring your third baseman's glove. Don't bring your center fielder's glove. You're going to be a second baseman. He said, what? A first-round draft pick? And you don't even want me to play any of the positions I played. So they made him a second baseman, or tried to. Spent several years doing all kinds of extra work, trying to become a second baseman. And then Jose Altuve jumped up to the big leagues, signed an extension in 2013. They said, why don't you try the outfield? Moves one out into right field. And the Shields is on with a base hit in the third.
Well, that's the other part of it too. Again, you're projecting and trying to figure out where does a guy best fit. Alex Bregman was a shortstop. You're not going to play shortstop when you have Carlos Correa on your team. So you go play another position. And you see Delano do a very nice job on his fastball away and just lining it to right center field, taking what Musgrove gave him. Not trying to pull that ball. It's been a nice run here lately for Delano, but going back to that whole deal with scouting and trying to figure out where a guy best fits, just because you played a position in high school or college does not necessarily mean you will play that position at the professional level, right? Bryce Harper, all that talk about him when he was a catcher, would he do that? No, we see you as an outfielder. We love your bat. Maybe not a big league catcher. We certainly don't want to slow those legs down anymore. He's a great athlete. It is all about evaluating the skill set, and then it goes the other way around. Right? Think of like Jacob deGrom, infielder in college. Nick Martinez, right? Guys that were maybe pitched a little bit, but primary were not pitchers, but they had the good arm. You just never know what's going to happen. Joe Nathan was drafted as an infielder.
Ground ball right side. Quick flip second. Correa's return in time for the double play. And so the DeShields single erased on the 4-6-3 twin killer. We'll go to the bottom of the third in Houston. Rangers lead by 2.
Rangers leading the Astros by a score of 2-0. And fans, a Coca-Cola family pack offers savings of over 30% on tickets, food, kids zone, access, souvenir programs, and Coke soft drink. It's an ideal way to catch the Rangers when they face the Toronto Blue Jays this Sunday, June 18th. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to get your Coca-Cola family pack today.
All right, well, bottom of the third inning. Darvish so far has retired all 6 batters see his face. He'll have Yuli Gurriel to start the third. And Gurriel, a guy who will be up there swinging. Gurriel, Alex Bregman, and then Nori Aoki.
You mentioned that about Gurriel. We were talking earlier about pitches per plate appearance. That is an area where he does not excel. He's up there hacking with 3.2 pitches per plate appearance, one of the lowest in the major leagues.
That's only the first 2 offerings and is in a hole 0-2.
And he is a guy that you pretty much stick with a very steady game plan against, at least as far as the location of the fastball, right? You go through those meetings and you're going through your guys. You always want to know where can you go with it. Well, Gurriel against righties really struggles on the fastball in, middle in, up and in. You can go down and away, but you got to get it way down there. You're just always better off with him never taking that chance of letting him get his arms extended. Darvish throwing a hard slider. Almost cutter there at 88. So he's got to know where the best spot to go with that fastball. There's certain guys you say, well, you know, you can't go to one spot. With Gurriel, you actually can. You want to stay in, middle, and in up.
On the 1-2. Chasing that one either. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hard breaking ball with the cutter at 88, then the slower breaking ball, the slider at 82. And he is an aggressive swinger. We just mentioned it, but he didn't bite on either of those. Slider again.
Gurriel on an 11-game hitting streak in the 2-2 pitch to him. And tap it foul.
Well, this is what we see pretty steadily from you, Darvish. You're going to see his lowest pitch in the low 70s unless he flips that little surprise 65-mile-an-hour curveball, which he will do occasionally. But this is what we're used to seeing, a low 70, 71, 72. Those highs sometimes get as high as 97, but it's been 71 to 95 so far tonight.
Rangers play Gurriel straight away, and he bounces at third base. Beltr&e is there on one hop. And Gurriel out to start the third inning. Well, I want to invite you to come out to Whataburger for an autograph session with Delano DeShields, 10:30 in the morning. Now that's going to be June 21st. Head on out to 730 North Denton Tap Road in Capel. While you're there, sign up to be the Whataburger What a fan, and you can win tickets to a Rangers game as well as Whataburger for a year. Go to TexasRangers.com/appearances for more information. Delano was working on his putting there for a second. Staying loose. Alex Bregman. And he rolls that one up the screen and into the stands. That was weird. Got about 2 feet from the top of the screen and then just spun up and over. Bregman at 245. Has the ability to run into one every now and then. Was 0 for 2 with a walk yesterday against the Angels. He's 23 years old. Done most of his work at third base. Occasionally spelling Correa at shortstop, and he takes one low. It's 2-1.
Yeah, we were talking about the draft earlier. Alex Bregman is a perfect example of some of the strategies that you will now see used in the draft. He went 2nd overall. Now, he wasn't necessarily looked at as a 2nd overall talent. He was looked at as a guy who could probably get to the big leagues pretty quickly, but also a guy that the Astros could sign under slot, right? Save themselves some money the way the slotting system works, so they'd have more money to spend later in the draft, and that's exactly what they did when they took Mike Cameron's son in that same draft. They thought he was going to be a pretty high pick, and then he fell because there was some concerns maybe about signability. So the Astros did a very nice job of taking Bregman a little bit higher than probably most teams would have had him pegged, but they saved some dollars that they later gave to Mike Cameron's son.
Well, it's a full count now on Bregman. Yeah, that's one thing too now with the, the rules seem to be shifting all the time and how the draft works. But when they came up with the pool money for the first X number of rounds and whatnot, it's one of the things the very first draft that the Astros were very creative with in signing Carlos Correa with the first pick overall that year. A bit of a surprise. Bregman draws the walk, first baseman of the night for the Astros. Now yesterday, Aoki with a bit of history. This base hit gave him 2,000 in his time stateside as well as Japan. And there you see it, getting the jacket for the Meikukai.
Now we thought it was going to be a golden jacket. I heard some rumors about green, but it's it's black with a cool patch and a cowboy hat to go with it. Why not? It's a good look.
That is something. Astros just threw that in there. And Aoki, bouncer to the right side. Odor with a good spin, and they force out Bregman at second base. There are 2 away. Fielder's choice for Aoki, and the lineup turns over. All right, taking a look at our progressive upcoming schedule. The Rangers will play 2 more here in Houston. Similar starts. Our coverage will begin at 6:30 on Fox Sports Southwest. Thursday's an off day, and then back home. Mariners visiting Globe Life Park for a 3-game weekend set. And note those start times all over the map over the weekend.
4 and 2 or 2 o'clock. Sundays are usually
2 o'clock.
Usually 2, right? Yeah.
So Aoki now at first base with 2 out. And here's George Springer. Springer grounded out to third his first time up. Checks his swing. They want an appeal. No. Springer had a home run yesterday, a 2-run homer.
Do you think Aoki ever wears that jacket again? A one-timer, like, it's a pretty big deal.
Well, yeah, it's probably a one-timer, unless there's a formal affair in Japan to celebrate him, maybe an annual event or semi-annual event, whatever, that one would specifically have to wear that for. But you're not wearing that out on a regular week.
Or unless maybe they bring all the 2,000 hit guys together. That could be a possibility. That's a really cool logo on the chest. It's amazing they're ready to go, right? Do you think that guy was following him around?
They were, yeah.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
This is the topper right here. And that really completes the outfit. You think about accessories that really bring an outfit together. Cowboy hat certainly ties it all.
Strong look. 2-1 now to Springer. I think if you were to go to the Friars Club in New York, you'd probably be able to get away with that jacket.
Yep.
That might be an occasion. Yeah, it's not a lot of use probably for the Meikukai sports code though, in general. It's like the Astros jacket. How often would you wear that around? It's a big jump there on the strike called. That's interesting. Aoki has the stolen base. I don't know where Springer was going. He just backed off the plate and took a strike. It's 2-2.
Well, we know that the Astros don't run very often, but Aoki obviously knows Darvish from his time in Japan. They've competed against each other quite a bit. How about Darvish there? Realizes everything that was going on, but it was too late because he had lifted his leg. It looked like he maybe thought about the inside move. He couldn't do it, so instead he just threw a pitch. George Springer was a little bit confused, and he ended up taking a 2-1 fastball right down the heart of the plate. So this may actually hurt the Astros more than it helps. We'll see how this at-bat ends.
Clearly a distraction for Springer. Now, part of it might have been like, well, listen, I'm not going to foul it off. He's got this base taken. But with 2 outs, now a 2-2 pitch.
And those guys, we know, Aoki and Darvish are friends. We talked about it last start. Darvish cooking some steak at the house and having his fellow countrymen over. But once you get in between the lines, friendships go aside and it's time to compete.
Well, he's in scoring position. 2 out, full count on Springer. Darvish now, he's a little distracted. Darvish has never been very good at holding base runners. It's not a focus for him.
Yeah. 7 for 8 this year. Now make it 8 for 9 after Aoki takes that one. As far as stolen bases success rate, just 1 has been thrown out.
I don't think Aoki's going anywhere now. The 3-2 pitch, and that one rolled down to third. Beltr&e has plenty of time to set up, throw out Springer, and that ends the inning. So the stolen base means nothing. We go to the 4th inning. Rangers still by 2.
Greatest players battle to be crowned America's champion in golf's can't-miss major of the year. The 117th U.S. Open begins Thursday on Fox FS1, and it'll be streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
It looks beautiful, man. It's going to be very interesting this week. Wisconsin. That Marwin Gonzalez is coming to play left field. Aoki, who was in left, is thus shifted. He's now in right field. That means Josh Reddick is out. Reddick might have hurt himself going up for that near home run in right field last, I guess, 2 innings ago. Ball that Gallo hit. Elvis Andrus leading things off in this 4th inning. Pops one up back to first base. Gurriel calls it in, 1 out.
Let's take a look at that play from Josh Reddick, and it happened all in the 2nd inning, and you see him make a tremendous attempt, what would have been an unbelievable catch. He did not get it. He went into the wall kind of hard, but you see him there. Went into the wall, and ultimately he ended up falling down when it was all said and done. So you just kind of wonder, something happened then. It was bothering him a little bit. You see it so often where guys stay in and then eventually end up coming out of the game, and that certainly appears to be the case with Josh Reddick.
So Marwin Gonzalez gets in the game, and it's always really noteworthy this year anyway when Gonzalez isn't in the starting lineup. You kind of scratch your head saying, like, why? I mean, this guy has put up some crooked numbers against the Rangers this year. So I mean, it's certainly a welcome gesture to have him on the bench, but anyway, he's in now.
All right, take a look at this now. We'll get a little bit of a better look at what happened here with Josh Reddick. Right, goes into the wall, hits it pretty hard, comes down pretty hard. Now he gets up right away and reacts. And like I said, a lot of times adrenaline kind of overtakes certainly the situation, but even for another inning or two, and then I think finally whatever was going on with him caught up with him. He started feeling it a little bit, and A.J. Hinch decided that it did enough.
2-1 pitch, and that one's a ground ball into left field. Base hit for Adrian Beltre. So Adrian is on with 1 out of the 4th inning. And chips away a little bit more at 3,000.
See a pretty decent fastball away here from Joe Musgrove, but the fastball has been the problem. As you see Adrian do a really nice job of getting out front of this ball, hitting it right in between Bregman and Correa. But we were talking about Musgrove and some of the issues that he has had. The batting average on the 4-seam fastball, which that pitch was, a .324 batting average against coming into tonight. 5 of the 9 home runs he has allowed have all come on that 4-seam fastball. The 2-seam doesn't get that much better. 304 batting average against with a couple of more home runs. So 7 of the 9 home runs that he's allowed this year all come on fastballs. Batting average well over 300 against that pitch.
So now with a man on, he'll have to contend with Nomar Mazara. 1 out here in the 4th inning. Rangers leading 2-0. Beltre with not much of a lead. Good backdoor breaking ball makes it 0-2. Beltre, by the way, 2,954 career hits. Closing in on Wee Willie Keeler. All-time hit list. One shy of tying Keeler. A week or so to get to Sam Crawford. Time called right as Musgrove was about to deliver.
Joe Musgrove, I'm sure, you can see from the body language, a little bit annoyed. Some guys will continue to throw the pitch. Some guys will sail it to the screen on purpose. You kind of get a freebie. Musgrove felt more comfortable just not throwing that pitch, and you do start to worry. You see an umpire jump out like that. You see the catcher standing up. Things could go a little haywire if he throws that pitch.
A swing and a miss, and Mazara, the strikeout victim in the 4th inning, and that is the first of the night for Joe Musgrove. Jonathan Lucroy heading to the plate. Let's check in with Leslie McCaslin.
Well, guys, Lucroy has really been grinding, really working on his swing a lot. Made adjustments a couple of weeks ago. Now Jeff Bannister said he's a lot calmer with his lower half. He's allowing the barrel to get out in front, and he's keeping that fastball in the middle of the field. It's definitely paid off, guys.
Absolutely. Quiet and controlled lower half. I mean, listen, you hear hitters talk about that all the time, really their entire body, the head as well. I feel like Jonathan Lucroy's swing has been pretty good, pretty steady. He continues to put the ball in place, what he's done all year. The hits were not there for him early on, and then it seemed like once they started coming, he just kept rolling after that. But that is absolutely right. That lower half is so important. We heard Mike Napoli talking about that early in the season. He was struggling. He started swinging it a little bit better and felt like he got his lower half where he wanted, right? Just like pitching. It's not all arms. You got to use that, those legs, all of them, to really be able to drive the baseball, whether you're throwing it or hitting it.
1-1 to Lucroy. 2 outs. Beltre down at first base. Lucroy singled and scored in that 2nd inning. A hole here, 1-2. He and Chirinos alternated duties in that series in Washington. A series where you don't have the luxury of the DH. Those National League teams on the road. Now today, both of them in the lineup. Lucroy is the DH today. Chirinos doing the catching, batting ninth. And that has been a fairly common sight lately. Bouncer foul keeps it at 1 and 2.
It's so hard to keep Jonathan Lucroy's bat out of the lineup, even though you'd like to give him a break from catching, or if you just like the matchup, as you see Robinson Chirinos there, if you prefer to have him match up with you, Darvish, that's the way that Jeff Bannister wants to go. He still wants to have that Lucroy bat in the lineup. So there's some risk there, obviously, if you end up having one of those guys go down, then you lose potentially your DH. But we've talked about it a bunch. Pete Kozma would be the guy. He is the emergency catcher, should it ever get to that. And he works on it. You see him. He'll come out in between innings, warm up the starter. You know, if it's a situation where Robinson Chirinos, finishes, say, on base, or he's on deck and he has his shin guards off, Pete Kozma will jump out there and catch some of these pitchers.
Probably making Musgrove work a little bit here and just misses. It's a full count. Say just misses. Fox Tracks had that one well off the plate. It's funny, some of that is the angle at which our center field camera photographs from behind the pitcher. The 3-2.
Every place is a little bit different. The angles will always look a little bit different. I want to get back to that point real quick. We were talking about Chirinos versus Lucroy. So it's been coming into tonight 36 innings catched for Jonathan Lucroy and Yu Darvish together this year. 3.68 ERA, pretty good for Robinson Chirinos in there. In the 45 in the third innings he caught coming into tonight with Yu Darvish. 2.78, so nearly a run better on the ERA when Robinson Chirinos has been behind the plate for Yu Darvish.
Beltr&e running. The 3-2 pitch popped up. Gurriel, plenty of room it appears, and foul ground, and he'll put that one away, and it ends the top of the fourth. We've played 3.5. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by North Texas Ford. The Great American Sales Event is happening now at your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, taking a look at Doug Brocail right now. Very proud pitching coach of the way things have gone lately for his staff.
The thing that sticks out there, you love the ERA, the batting average, but what has been the issue and what they have been talking about since spring training was the walks. And just 5 walks in that 3-game sweep up in Washington against a very good offense, a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Doug Brocail is absolutely loving that. And Listen, it's difficult in this league if you're going to walk hitters to win. You're just putting yourself in a lot of jams. It can be tough, and Doug Brocail and Brad Holman have worked really hard to get this pitching staff where they want it, where they're filling up the zone with confidence.
Well, Darvish has been pretty sharp so far. He's walked the one hitter. But that has been it.
All right, so what do you buy into here? We talked about Marwin Gonzalez has been great against the Rangers, been a real thorn in their side this year, but Yu Darvish is really dominating them. Obviously, I got to believe that A.J. Hinch buys into more of the hitter versus pitcher as opposed to hitter versus team.
Probably always going to go that route, right?
Yeah, Marwin Gonzalez over the course of his career, 2 for 13 against Yu Darvish, just a 154 batting average against, 0 walks, 6 strikeouts in those 13 at-bats. Usually, yes, but if a guy's on fire, too, if he comes in hot, not just against the team, he comes in hot, I do think you like to throw him in there against the pitcher that maybe he has not been successful against. What was so interesting to me, too, with all of this, so Jose Altuve's got 6 walks against Yu Darvish over the course of his career, regular postseason. Josh Reddick has 1. There's not a single Astro hitter remaining that has walked ever against Yu Darvish.
Right.
Those are the only 2. 6 from Altuve, not surprising, 6 strikeouts, 6 walks, 1 from Josh Reddick. The rest of that column, at least in my book, is filled with zeros. Well, I guess you can now put Alex Bregman in. He now has 1. So you kind of ruined that.
Well, in years past, in years past, they've been such a swing and miss club, but that has changed this year.
Yes.
They're a much more patient club this year, or at least a much more disciplined club this year.
They addressed the need, right? They knew what was going on with this team. You see a guy like Marwin Gonzalez who made the change himself, his approach as far as what he has done. But bringing in Brian McCann, bringing in some guys that maybe Carlos Beltran, a perfect example, trying to get away from some of those swing and miss guys. We've talked about those 3 in particular from a leadership standpoint and how important they have been. You know, you can talk about both facets, what they do actually in the game, but then also what they bring to the clubhouse and say, well, which one really has been more important? You're going to get stat guys tell you all day long it's what they do on the field. You might get an argument from A.J. Hinch that it might be what they're bringing to the clubhouse.
Just the way they go about their approach. The 5th full count for an Astros hitter tonight as we are just beginning playing the 4th. Now, Marwin Gonzalez, he has one very notable hit off of Yu Darvish. Going back to that 2013 season when Darvish nearly threw a perfect game here in Houston, and it was Gonzalez who broke it up with 2 out in the 9th, the 3-2 pitch. And he fouls it away. So let's go on the way back machine, CJ. Here's how it went down. Darvish as good as you could have been.
Hard to believe that was 4 years ago, but the stuff was nasty like we've always seen from Yu Darvish. Your repertoire has been incredibly deep, but he was cruising along, and then right through the wickets, the ground ball, you see the smile. Not a genuine smile, it's a smile of disappointment from Yu Darvish. I'm kind of laughing it off, but it certainly did appear that we were going to see some history in that game, and ultimately it did not happen.
Well, the 3-2, and he strikes him out. Only the 2nd strikeout so far tonight for Darvish, but he takes care of Gonzalez to start the 4th.
Well, it's a breaking ball, the full count. Yu Darvish is confident throwing all pitches in all situations, and it was a slider that split the plate. He just went ahead and threw his best slider right at Marwin Gonzalez, right over the dish, and caught him out front.
All right, 1 out for Jose Altuve. We're talking about Gurriel last inning, who has been aggressive this year at the plate, and you can say the same thing about Altuve. Typically very short at bats for him. He grounded out of the 1st inning and takes his strike here in the 4th.
I like the approach, and I think that, listen, hitters got to do what they're most comfortable doing, and Jose Altuve is a great hitter. We know that he has been now for a long time, and even up the power in his game, but I don't know why you'd wait around. Now, if you get over aggressive and chasing out of the zone, no, but attacking fastballs early in the count, you got to almost do it, especially against a guy like Yu Darvish. He knows how to strike hitters out. Now, if you're facing a guy that doesn't have overpowering stuff and you want to be a little bit more patient and work that count, I get it. But if you see a fastball early on that you like from a guy that has good stuff that throws a lot of strikes, it certainly makes a ton of sense to get aggressive after those fastballs early.
One ball, one strike on Altuve, and everybody resets. That was off strike 2. Meanwhile, if you're Darvish, you kind of want to be careful with a guy like Altuve. Little though he is, does have good power. 9 home runs. The average coming into the game today was at 322. Drops just a smidge after his ground out early. One, two. That's fouled away. Hard to believe Jose Altuve already tied for 10th all-time in the Astros franchise record books. There you go. A little over 1,200 career hits.
It's been a staple here, and really, when we talk about this organization and the changes that they've had here, new ownership, new front office, Jose Altuve, of course, is a holdover from the previous regime. I got to believe they're very proud of the career he's had. A lot of times, obviously, there's always high turnover in baseball, whether it's players, coaches, executives. It's difficult to really sustain a long run. But even after you've left an organization, for a guy like Ed Wade, who was running things here for so long, even though he's not involved anymore, I got to imagine he looks back at Jose Altuve. He looks back at Dallas Keuchel, who was an old regime guy, and is just beaming with pride to see these guys be so successful and then be part of that next generation that's trying to take the organization forward.
George Springer was an Ed Wade draft selection. This one off the plate, 2-2 the count.
I think a lot of people just kind of gloss over it and assume because there was much made about the changes here in Houston and really taking the rebuild to a whole nother level, which I said at the time, either they're going to completely change how you rebuild or things going to blow up. I think they've changed how teams approach the rebuild without a doubt. Took it to a pretty special place. Now, it was ugly here for a while.
Special.
It was special, right? 100+ losses. First overall pick 3 years in a row. It's 0 ratings at times for TV, right? It's a huge commitment. You got to have ownership that's on board.
Pop-up right near second base. Odor wants it, and he takes it. There are 2 away.
Well, fans, who doesn't want to take a trip to Margaritaville? You're going to get an opportunity on Friday, July 7th, when the Rangers host the Yankees. Tailgate party with live music and cold drinks, Margaritaville-inspired Rangers T-shirts, and a post-game fireworks show that's going to be set to Jimmy Buffett's music. Tickets available, as always, at TexasRangers.com/theme nights. But going back to that, right? I mean, the TV ratings are important. Low attendance. You think about an ownership group that's got to be okay with that. That's not easy. And that's why I think a lot of teams will get caught in between when they go do that rebuild. So, well, let's get a couple names out here, some people, some players that fans will recognize, so they'll want to come out to the ballpark, so they'll want to tune in. But does that really help you get where you want to go? And I think ultimately the answer to that is probably not. You could kind of do both a little bit. But I think the Astros played this thing right. Now, whether or not they actually get the ring, I don't even think matters. I don't think that necessarily validates what they did. It's a matter of, do you get your team to a point where they can be competitive year in and year out? And they seem to have built that kind of contender here. It was ugly, but I think in the back end of it, ring or not, World Series ring or not, I think it was worth it.
And a miss by Correa takes the count to 1-1. They sold it. They set it up really well here. I'll give them that too. And I was a little surprised at how willing the fan base was to accept it. They were fully behind the rebuild and everything that entailed. And so you do have to give them credit for selling it in such a way that people would buy in. Correa takes a strike. It's 1-2.
I think it's like anything, right? Even for you and I, we call these games and we never want to insult the intelligence of the fan base, the listening audience, the watching audience. And you could sit there and say one thing and do another, and people are going to call you out on it. So it was the right way to approach it. See how this thing ends now over the next few years.
2-2 to Correa.
And this was obviously a product of that, right? Carlos Correa, #1 overall pick. Now they had that pick 3 years in a row. Correa was the one that worked out. They had Brady Aiken. It was a little bit of a disastrous situation there. Ultimately ended up not signing. And of course they had the big righty out of Stanford, who they ultimately ended up trading to the Philadelphia Phillies.
Correa chases strike 3. Third strikeout victim for Yu Darvish. We've played 4 so far tonight. Yu Darvish has faced just 1 over the minimum. And the Rangers lead by 2. All right, 4-game summary for you as we head to the 5th inning. Rougned Odor in the 2nd inning. Yeah, that was big with a man on first. Got it all the way out to the fence, and the triple broke the scoring seal on this one.
That was a big hit in a 2-strike count. Drove the ball the other way, and then Joey Gallo came up after him, hit another triple. So it was back-to-back triples for the Rangers, the first time they have done that since 2006. And Yu Darvish has been excellent tonight. 4 innings pitched so far for him, just 1 walk to 3 strikeouts, and how about 7 ground ball outs so far tonight here for Yu Darvish.
So we go back to work in the 5th, and Odor will start things off. Odor, Gallo, and Chirino, 7, 8, and 9. Rangers swept 3 in Washington. And now opening this series tonight here in Houston. And very much in need of a win against the Astros. Out of the way, the count 0-2. This is also the first day of the amateur draft in Major League Baseball. Rangers moments away from making their first selection. They're going to make a couple of selections here in very short order.
26 and 29 today.
Odor rips this one out of the right, and Aoki right there to haul it in, 1 away.
Well, how about back in the 2nd inning? I mentioned the back-to-back triples. It was Joey Gallo who just missed a home run. This ball took a favorable bounce, and it was a stand-up triple. And then the ball got thrown away here, and some miscommunication. And Joey tried to score on this play, and Joe Musgrove did a nice job of reacting and getting that ball to Brian McCann, and the tag was made, and there was a challenge from Jeff Bannister first. Well, I guess it was a crew chief review on whether or not the ball left the yard, but then the challenge, I believe. Did we ever get an email on that one, by the way?
Yeah, you know what? It was a crew chief review.
Yep.
So there was no challenge by the Rangers.
So why did he point home and still call him out then? See how misleading that can be, though, if you're watching and not hearing? Right? Okay, it's one thing to say, no, the home run was not a home run, but then when he points at home, the crew chief in that situation, and then gives the out sign, he's making it seem like he's reacting to 2 things that happened in the review process, but it was actually only 1.
Yeah.
And that's where, remember, we're hearing that conversation and whether or not umpires should be given a microphone in these situations to quickly explain. I'm not a big fan of that. I think there's a better way to relay it to fans. Go ahead and put it on the board. Let us know. But a little bit of miscommunication there.
Well, the only thing I can think of there is that because, as he signals out to the outfield, that it was in play, then he was safe. Subsequently, there was an out at the plate. Might have been Now, the reason, the genesis for that, the signal, hard to know exactly. And I don't know. I mean, is there like a guideline on how these guys are supposed to relay that information?
Yeah.
It's really kind of a funky challenge for them too.
I think an official announcement doesn't have to come from them. They don't have to get in front of the mic, because they do that, they're going to get booed like crazy when it doesn't go the home team's way. But I don't know, put on the board, put on the big scoreboard, let us know here's exactly what's being challenged right now. I think that'd be pretty helpful.
That's interesting. Now, after the walk to Gallo, looks like we're going to have a visit, and it was an interesting reaction both on the part of McCann and Doobie. And look at this, Davinsky warming up with the bullpen here in the 5th inning. So interesting.
We already talked about some of the issues that the Astros are having right now with some injuries. I don't know if Joe Musgrove felt anything there. It was, the trainer didn't go out, so it didn't seem like it was a injury visit.
Brent Strom just kind of came popping up out of that dugout. Take a look. This is what's happened here recently. Today, Lance McCullers Jr. placed on the disabled list with the stiffness in his lower back. Keuchel a couple of days ago with a kick at his neck. And it just continues to pile up. Musgrove just back off the DL today.
Well, there have been some talk about what do the Astros need. Obviously, they're off to a great start, a commanding lead in the division, but people are already speculating about what they could add coming up to the trading deadline. I think without a doubt starting pitching is going to be on their radar. It's just a matter of how many, with all the guys that are hurt. And even in the case of Lance McCullers, how many innings can he throw this year, right? It was just barely over 80 last year. They're certainly going to be cautious with that young, powerful arm. So I don't think he has 180 or 200 innings in him this year. So even though he's on the DL now, if it's a short stint, I got to believe he's going to be hitting some kind of innings limit sooner than later.
Gallo with a decent lead over at first. And he'll draw another throw. We talked about it earlier. The Rangers have been running. Gallo with 4 steals this year and 4 attempts. And just because he's a big slugger doesn't mean that the Rangers won't send him at some point here. 1 out. Musgrove a little concerned with him.
Interesting. Musgrove has only allowed 1 stolen base so far this inning in his 10 starts. This season in his 10 starts. But Brian McCann has struggled. He's only thrown out 17% of potential base stealers. 5 of 29 coming into this game. Evan Gattis has also struggled. Has only thrown out 18%. Both of those well below league average. So throwing out potential base stealers has been an issue for the Astros.
He's swinging a high pop-up down the left field line. A twisting foul, and that one hit the rafters. And Carroll's back into fair territory. Now here's the deal. When it hits the rafters in foul territory, it's immediately dead. If it hits a rafter over fair territory, it's live. Could drop into fair ground, could drop into foul ground. But when it hits up there in foul territory, you can catch it, but it just doesn't mean anything.
We're going to see a high fly ball here from Robinson Chirinos, and it's down the line. You're going to watch C.B. Buckner right here. Both of these guys actually at third base and first, both calling that ball foul. Or excuse me, third base and home, both calling it foul. And Robinson Chirinos caught a break there. That ball, if those rafters are not there, that ball's coming down in foul territory, but playable.
So he'll get another pitch. Not before. Gallo's chased back. Gallo that time didn't really have much of a lead at all. Now right there, that's where it hit. It hit the green one.
Are you sure?
So you can see it easily. 1-2 pitch, and Chirinos strikes out swinging. That one a foul tip into the glove of McCann. So 2 away, and that's going to be it for Musgrove.
Wow.
Now with 2 out in the 5th inning. A.J. Hinch comes on out. 75 pitches in, and that must have been a magic number. They'll take the baseball from Musgrove. Rangers already into the Astros pen.
the Astros by a score of 2-0. And how about this? On August 12th, the Rangers and Fox Sports will celebrate the career of Pudge and see the number 7 retired. Special 7-game ticket packages are available, including this memorable night in Arlington. Go to texasrangers.com/Pudge, get tickets, and witness history.
Well, Chris Davinsky on for the 24th time out of the bullpen for the Astros, and he has been the heart and soul of their pen now for a couple of years.
He has been. You see the numbers right there. That incredible whip, the walks, plus the hits over the innings pitched.
Oh, a bunt in the air. And Bregman tracks it down in foul ground. The Shields with a popped up bump. That ends the Rangers' threat in the 5th. We're halfway to the house, 2-0.
As Darvish gets ready to take the mound once again in the bottom of the 5th. Well, Darvish got the loss just over a week ago when they faced the Astros, giving up 3 runs over 7 hits, which leads us to our State Farm winning combination. He told us it was a different lineup than he saw the last couple of years, so he studied and executed. He went back, watched the film of good and bad outings that he'd had against the Astros. He felt like they had a different 2-strike approach this season, and guys, he definitely made some changes that he saw, he studied, and now he's executing, finding a way to pitch around them differently than he did just over a week ago. It's working so far.
It's the name of the game, adjustments and understanding what lineups are doing. And it's a great point because this team changed, right? You and I were just talking about the differences, and they're not a team that swings and misses the way that they used to. And they're the best in the league when it comes to the lowest swing and miss rate. Now, it's not that Darvish was surprised and rolled in one day and said, hey, who are these guys? But, you know, you have a certain way that you approach guys, but you see an organization that changes their philosophy a little bit with some new personnel, and then it's on you as the pitcher to adjust, and that's where Darvish has been, and so far the plan is looking pretty good.
Well, he's faced 1 over the minimum through 4 innings, and works to Carlos Beltran here in the 5th, but has fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes. This one foul away. It's 3-1. So Beltran swinging 3-0.
Smart approach, right? What we were talking about earlier with Jose Altuve and looking for a fastball early, go hacking. It used to be kind of taboo, right? 3-0 count, just go ahead and take one. Well, teams are realizing, and smart hitters realize more and more, that might be the best pitch you get the rest of the at-bat.
I'll takes that one. It's a full count.
The only way that works, though, is if you're disciplined enough, right? When you say 3-0 count or 3-1, 2-0, you're picking out a spot. You're looking for the baseball in that spot, one spot only. If it's there, you go after it. If it's not, you lay off. If you don't have that ability, you struggle to do that, then you probably should not be swinging 3-0.
Darvish ready. And he loses Beltr&, so a walk starts the 5th. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back again to Dana Larson. All right, thanks, Dana. Lead man on here at the bottom of the 5th for the Astros, a 2-0 ball game, and now here is Brian McCann. Darvish issued his first walk in the 3rd inning, a leadoff walk in this 5th inning. In fact, the first 14 batters that he has faced today, 6 full counts, so a lot of pitches for Darvish. Beltr&, no real threat to run over at first. Up and away, and it is 2 balls, no strikes on McCann.
A couple of smart hitters right now in Carlos Beltr&, Brian McCann. Very difficult to get out when you get behind in the count. But these guys, again, kind of seeking and looking and knowing what they want when they're in these good hitters count. So Darvish making himself work a little bit here in the 5th.
A bouncer first base side. This one picked up by Gallo. He'll touch the bag, but no play on Beltr&, at second base. One out here in the 5th inning. Well, Rangers just made their selection in the 1st round with a 26th pick overall, high school outfielder Bubba Thompson. And it was a, you know, as the prognosticators or whomever put together all the lists, it was a very heavy outfield, a high school outfield in particular, draft. A lot of really talented or toolsy outfielders. And there were rumors that Bubba Thompson could have gone even as high as the top 5 in the draft, but he falls all the way to the Rangers. So an exciting 1st round pick. And they will have a pick again here in a matter of minutes. A man at second, 1 out, and here is Gurriel. You were talking earlier about how difficult it is to project talent, especially when you're talking high school kids, and even for that matter, what positions might be their best when they get drafted. But you were drafted in the 1st round, and it didn't take you long at all to get to the big leagues.
That might have been a regrettable decision by the Reds when it was all said and done. But yeah, they move me along quickly. It all depends on your organization too, and your general manager. A very aggressive general manager in Jim Bowden. I actually made my debut in the major leagues a year to the day that I signed. I drafted on June 2nd, signed June 3rd of '94, and I made my first big league appearance in June 3rd of 1995. It all depends. There's other organizations that I was spending the entire year in A-ball after you get drafted, or maybe even rookie ball. No 2 ways about it. They want you to get that experience, and they move you along a little bit slower. But you're right. Every organization is different. I will say this. I do think the push to get guys to the big leagues at a younger age is as aggressive as it has ever been. And the thought process there for organizations is that they look at your peak years. Right? Say 24 to 29. Those are the peak years. Let's get these guys to the big leagues a little bit quicker so we can take advantage of those peak years.
Now some communication issues here apparently between Chirinos and Darvish. Darvish seemed pretty emphatic about what he wanted from Chirinos there.
Yeah, a little animated. He actually looked out at Odor right there and kind of pointed to himself as if to say it might have been his mistake. I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but I think he has some frustration falling behind a couple of guys right now, and I think he's been a little frustrated on some of the calls that he hasn't got either in this inning.
Saw the 1-1. Good breaking ball in there. Strike 2 on Gurriel. Bubba Thompson, the young man the Rangers just chose in the 1st round of the draft, a guy who turned down scholarships to play quarterback in the SEC.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
You talk about getting that athlete.
Bouncer third base. And Adrian Beltre throws out Gurriel 2 away. Beltran had to stay at second base.
Hey, don't gloss over this pick. I don't mean you. I just mean in general, not reprimanding you for your play-by-play call. If you watch that play, don't gloss over this backhanded pick from Joey Gallo. Watch this right here. That is not easy. When you're picking, this is not what he's been doing, right? You see Adrian have to back up on this ball, gets the high hop, the throw is a little bit low, but for Joey, he has really taken to first base, I think, extremely well. When you're picking balls like this, you start down and you go up. You see that? Glove was at the dirt. You want to make sure that you're coming up. You don't want to be stabbing down at the baseball. It's a lot harder to pick like that, and then the back pick like that can be a little bit difficult as well. It has been, I don't say seamless and perfect. I mean, it's asking a lot, but it has been a very, very good transition. We've seen Joey Gallo come up pretty big on some balls in the dirt, some nice stretches. Remember that toss he made the other day as well. We were in Washington. Leading, I believe it was Alex Claudio, if I'm not mistaken, at first. It was a good play that he made, but he's just doing a really nice job over there at first.
I'm talking about drafts and first-round picks, guys who could do a number of things. Most teams, when they were looking at Joey Gallo, wanted him as a pitcher. And he was emphatic about wanting to hit when he was getting to that draft stage, and he was very clear about that with teams that were looking at him. And he said the Rangers were one of just a handful of teams that would even consider drafting him and letting him play as a position play. He'd do 100 miles an hour in a high school baseball game as our closer.
That's nuts.
And was, you know, once those guns find that, those scouts report it back to home camp, the immediate thought is pitcher. But he disdained that to continue to swing the bat.
I mean, at least at the big league level, when you see 100, and it's still unbelievable, and there's guys that can score it up, and there's guys that can't catch up to it. But the hitters are generally, I mean, we know they're the best in the world, but they have very similar skill sets. You go to a high school game, there's some kids sitting at the bottom of the order, some tiny kids seeing 100. I mean, that's not fair, man. Those poor kids.
2-2 on Bregman.
That was always the deal with Mike Trout. We talked to scouts. Eddie Bain, who was with the Angels at the time, and talked about it was very difficult to scout Mike Trout because he was a Jersey guy. The competition was really weak. He's beating up on 75-mile-an-hour fastballs all day long, and that's great, but we're not really sure what he is. And that was a guy, obviously the best player in the game, who slipped all the way to 25th overall in the draft.
Runner off second, 2-2 pitch, and this one looped out to left field. Mazara coming on, goes into a slide, and he did not get it. Beltran able to score on a bloop single by Bregman, and Mazara just had a little trouble off the bat, getting a real good read on that.
I was not hit very hard at all by Alex Bregman, and those are the ones they're going to trick you a little bit. I think that's what we saw here with Nomar Mazara. Let's take a look at the replay here. This ball is off the end of the bat. You hear that kind of funky sound, and you see Nomar going, and that ball dying a little bit quicker than he anticipated. Just out of his reach. He almost caught that.
So the Astros are on the board. An RBI single by Bregman. That brings up the 9th place hitter, Orioles.
Well, that's for the first hit of the game.
Yeah. Aoki reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. 2 runs, 5 hits. No errors for the Rangers so far tonight. 1 run, and that was the first hit. No errors for the Astros. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Warner's in. Sent back to first base. Darvish takes a while to come set. He gets a little comebacker from Aoki, and the underhand toss to first retires him and the Astros in the 5th. We'll go to the 6th inning tonight in Houston. Brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Our jackpot today, $1,700 plus dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Robin Hereford of Louisville. I'm going with Hereford there. I don't know. Could be Hereford. Anyway.
I think it's Hereford.
I think you're wrong. Robin is going to win $1,700 this inning when the Rangers hit a home run. Possible she could win $25,000 if it's a grand slam. So that's kind of where we're going with this one. Good luck, Robin. Chu will start it off. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the 6th inning. Chu is lined out and bounced into a double play. Davinsky came in to get the final out of the 5th inning. Stays in the 6th. Not at all uncommon. The great majority of his outings are multiple innings. A guy who can gobble up some very important innings for this Astros team out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's been very good, and you might say, well, he's been their go-to arm. You mentioned it when he first came in the game, and why would you bring him in a 2-0 game when you're losing? Well, he's a guy that you certainly expect to hold down the fort, and you believe in your offense, right? This is the kind of offense that has comeback ability. It's one thing if you're a team that doesn't score a lot of runs, maybe you're a little bit more careful about how you use your biggest arms, because Chris Davinsky is going to be very huge for this team right now based on what they're going through with some of their starting rotation. And the guys that are going to fill in and how deep they're actually going to be able to get is going to be questionable.
This one hit out into left field, sliding to his left forward is Marlon Gonzalez. One away in the 6th. Pretty nice play by Gonzalez.
Well, that's a good job here as this ball off the bat of Shin-Soo Choo will start to kind of curve back to him a little bit. And I don't know if guys are having a little bit of issue. We've seen the ball out there as well. We saw it, remember, earlier when Aoki was out there, and then with Nomar Mazara, maybe not the greatest to read on the ball, a little bit of a hesitation there. And Marlon saw that okay. Well, you mentioned the multiple outings for Davinsky. 23 games pitched coming into tonight, 36 and 2/3 innings. That's the 3rd most innings for a reliever right now in the big leagues. But of that group, he's crushing it on strikeouts. I mean, his strikeout rate has been unbelievable. He does have the 3rd best total strikeouts as well for a reliever.
2-1 on Elvis Andrus. Adrian Beltre waiting on deck. Rangers lead by a run, and Davinsky back to the plate. The thing about Davinsky that amazes me, and he has been very consistent and so good for this team these last couple of years, is the way in which he falls off the mound as he throws. I mean, look, I am no purveyor of mechanics, but it does seem like the type of thing you hear pitching coaches talk about, right? Is that you want to be going to the plate, not falling off one side or the other as he walks Andrus.
No, what he does doesn't add up. He's been great. We know that he's been great, but you watch him here, and what you're going to see is that left foot finishes open, right? There's guys you talk about, right here. There's a really good view of right there. That left foot ends up going way left. Now you talk about going straight at the mound is usually, or straight at home plate is what you try to teach pitchers. Some guys will throw where they close themselves off a little bit, throw across their body. But you never really teach a guy to open up the way that Davinsky does. Now Greg Holland also does it. There's 2 pretty successful relief pitchers, and it's just one of those things because your first instinct is, okay, that left foot opens up wide. You're going to see the ball a lot longer because the shoulders and everything else follow, and he's opened up longer. But it's just one of those things, man, where it works for him, it probably would not work for most.
Quick look over at first base. Andrus, who has 15 stolen bases. Chased back there.
Well, they know this, right? We talked about the issues for Brian McCann and Gaddis when it comes to throwing. So how do you counteract that? You're going to do little things pitchers do. Keeping runners close, mixing speeds, holds, all that stuff.
This ball hit well. Out to right field. Carrying toward that bullpen, and it is off the base of the fence. Andrus waved around third base. The throw, well, it's cut off out near second. Beltre with an RBI double, and the Rangers lead it 3-1.
Good job here by Adrian Beltre and the Rangers to get that run back pretty quickly. Here's a fastball that is elevated away. He drives it to deep right center field, and you're going to see the throw here from George Springer. You're going to see it here in a minute as Aoki tried to fake out Elvis. He didn't bite, but watch what happened here. A little bobble. It was a short hop throw. Carlos Correa could not handle it, and so because of that, there was no play at home.
A big double by Adrian Beltre. Now he's in scoring position for Mazara, who takes strike one. So 2 hits tonight for Beltre. $2,955. Mazara hits this one high in the air, up near those rafters. This one headed down into short right field. Naoki able to catch it, 2 away. So Beltre with that hit now. And you see it tied with Willie Keeler. 33rd all-time. Next on the list. He's now taking aim at Wahoo Sam Crawford.
And he's taking down those old photos. Start getting us some colored photos here soon. This Al Kaline now starts getting in his sights a little bit. Roberto Clemente.
Off the plate to Jonathan Lucroy. 2 out. And a man on. Rangers lead by 2.
Definitely one of the better nicknames, Wee Willard.
Oh, yeah.
Willie Keeler. Wrapped up his career in 1910. Started 1892. It's so cool, right? The way that this game spanned so many generations, and a guy like Adrian Beltre can pass Willie Keeler.
Well, you know, when you think of guys like Keeler, those are, you know, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's such a part of baseball lore. He is the hit it where they ain't guy, right? And that's a line that just about every little league, high school, college, major league coach has uttered at some point in his life. It's a secret to hitting. Keep your eye clear and hit them where they ain't.
How about this? He hit .424 in 1897. Now, different game, without a doubt, significantly different game. But .424 that year led the league. He was a .341 career hitter. Back-to-back years where he led Major League Baseball in batting average. .424 and then .385.
Fouled away by Lucroy. 1-2 the count. Keeler was just a little guy. He was like 5'4 and a half. And I think we were just talking about the Baltimore chop when we were in D.C. because of that hard area in front of the plate and the way it was bouncing out there at Nationals Park and the history of the Baltimore chop. Well, Keeler was one of those guys who lived off of that as part of his career, as he fell just shy of 3,000 hits. Adrian Beltre has just tied him on the all-time list, 33.
This will get something that'll get some stat heads a little bit angry. He led the league 1 year in sacrifice bunts with 42.
A little pop-up first base side, foul ground, easy play for Gurriel, and it ends the inning. Rangers get another run though. Adrian Beltre continuing to move up the charts, and a big double drives in a huge run for the Rangers tonight. The bottom of the 6th inning, top of the order coming for the Astros. Beltr&eacute and his buddy Elvis Andrus having a little fun. Darvish out to do a little more work. Pitch count just a little over 80 now for Darvish. He bumps it in there for a strike. So Springer, Marwin Gonzalez, and Jose Altuve in the 6th inning. Springer is twice bounced it down to Beltr&eacute at third base. Puts this one toward Elvis Andrus. And the shortstop able to make the play easily. One away in the 6th inning. Jeremy Jeffress loosening up.
He's going a little bit as that pitch count starts to get up. You mentioned it for you, Darvish, and Jeffress pitched the second game of that National Series. That was the first time he had pitched in 10 days. So he's only now thrown once in the last 11. Threw the ball well. See 83 total there for you, Darvish. I think he still has plenty left here in the 6th inning. I'm maybe imagining here that Jeff Bannister being a little bit proactive as the Astros turn that lineup over for a third time, but that's not necessarily any kind of consistent issue for you, Darvish. He actually does pretty well in those situations.
One strike pitch to Gonzalez. Ooh, up and away.
Those numbers, 238 batting average against for you, Darvish. Third time through the lineup. It's actually a little bit higher at 248. Second time through, dominated. First time through. How about this 146 batting average? First time through the lineup this year. That's domination.
Two balls and a strike to Gonzalez. Let's see, in the first time through the lineup, Darvish 36 pitches. No hits, no runs, a walk. Got 6 groundouts. Second time through, used 45 pitches. Gave up a hit and a walk, hit a run. He got 4 more groundouts. Now this is the third time through. His 2-1 pitch. Gonzalez in the game because Josh Reddick taken out after apparently aggravating an injury or hurting himself just a little bit. He ultimately was reported a mild concussion for Reddick. He went up back to make a play at the wall and went hard into the wall. Ball 4, so Gonzalez takes the walk. Rangers made another pick. They had the 26th pick and now the 29th pick. Christopher Cease, a shortstop out of West Orange High School. So a couple of high schoolers early in the draft for the Rangers.
Yeah, and so that means patience, right? You get excited about your team's first pick. Now it's later obviously in the first round for the Rangers, and when you see a shortstop, you certainly get excited. You know you got yourself a pretty good athlete. Does not necessarily mean he will be a shortstop going forward. We'll see. I mean, here's the deal too. If you're into this kind of stuff and you like following, there's no shortage of people that will write about draft picks. It always kind of amazes me about that. And I know these guys work hard, but it is not even an exact science or anything close to one for the professionals, right? For the guys that are scouts, they get stuff wrong all the time. It's going to happen. There is no perfect scout that has never missed. If anything, you're a miss more than you're actually going to land on some of your projections. So then we get people that are, write for publications that don't have scouting experience that then will kind of throw out these scouting reports or projections of what's going to happen. And especially when you're dealing with a high school kid, to take away from some of these guys. I know they work really hard, but I'm kind of like, you're guessing. I really think it's like your best guess. And if you're going to listen to anything, listen to what John Daniels and everyone else from the front office has to say going forward over these next couple of days. I'm sure there'll be plenty of good quotes and all the different places that you can hear about it. And even then, they're not 100% sure. They have an idea maybe where a guy might go, what they like about his skill set. But if you follow this game, you know going from an amateur to a professional to a big leaguer, there's a lot of steps in it.
Jose Altuve takes ball 2 after the short visit by Doug Brocail. A man on, bottom of the 6th, in a 3-1 game. There's a 90th pitch of the night for Darvish. And this ball hit well out to left field. Not hit well, off the end of the bat, and playable for Mazara. The big swing within that funky sound again might have broken Altuve's bat.
Yeah, I tell you what, that sound has fooled me here tonight as well. There's been a couple of times where the ball sounded better or sounded, I felt like the ball was hit off maybe the end a little bit, carried a little bit more. So yeah, get some interesting acoustics in this ballpark, especially with the roof closed. I will tell you this though, it's pretty warm here in Houston. Seeing temperatures 90, 91, 92. We're sitting inside with the roof closed. Can't help get a little excited about what's coming down the pipe here in 2020. Still 3 years away, right? You thought I was going somewhere else?
Yeah, I wasn't real sure, but I definitely get where you're going. I mean, it was a steamy one out there today, and so you walk in here and it's very comfortable. It's 73 degrees at game time inside. And the point is that roof coming in 2020 for a much more pleasant baseball viewing experience. Correa 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts today. And a bouncer knocked down by Darvish. Plenty of time, and he'll take care of Correa. 2 in the 6th. Another scoreless inning posted by Darvish, and it takes us to the 7th inning. The 7th inning. The Texas Rangers excited to bring you the first ever Game of Thrones theme night. It'll be Wednesday, July 5th. Rangers taking on the Red Sox. This ticket comes with a limited edition House Bannister bobblehead. Plus, take your picture on the Iron Throne. Tickets must be purchased through TexasRangers.com/Game of Thrones. All right, Tony Sipp has come on to pitch in this 7th inning for the Astros. So Davinsky done. Musgrove went 4 2/3. Davinsky an inning and a third. And now Sipp for the 21st time this season.
You see the numbers there from Tony. This has got a little interesting in this Houston Astros bullpen. Tony Sipp, a guy who's under a 3-year contract right now, but the Astros trying to figure out what they're going to do. And the idea of maybe potentially adding another lefty is something I think that'll be on their shopping list as well.
Sip dealing with the bottom third of the order. Couple of left-handers in succession in this 7th inning. He runs it off the plate. It is 1-1. Odor had the triple in the 2nd inning. Scored a run. Is also flied out to right. Odor takes a big cut at this one. Pops it way up there into short right field. That's a tough play. Handled by Altuve. And that is out number 1. Wow, that was another one that was way up in those rafters again. It didn't look like it hit one, but very close.
I got up there. I thought this was going to be a little bit of an issue on the way down. Like Jose Altuve might have had a shot to overrun this ball, but then you see him as he gets his bearings and checking his outfielders, settles under, and actually makes it look very easy at the end.
Joey Gallo also with a triple tonight and a walk.
I saw some high fives there from Yu Darvish afterwards. We always try to guess a little bit and wondering, was he done? It seemed I had some action early in the bullpen and maybe something that Jeff Bannister saw, but nobody throwing right now in the bullpen with 1 out. Everybody's different as far as how the relievers work it. If there was a call that was made and said, hey, whoever, Jeremy Jeffress, you're in the game. If you've already thrown a bunch, you may wait till 2 outs. But I'm kind of thinking maybe Yu Darvish is going back out there. He looked great. Settled down very nicely after the visit from Doug O'Kale.
Yeah, and I feel like we have seen Jeff Bannister push his starters just a little bit more lately. I mean, not to unusual pitch counts or anything, but I think when given the choice, do I try to get one more inning out of a guy or go to my bullpen? I feel like he has shown some deference to his starters.
I agree.
And not the least of which was yesterday when we saw Austin Bibbins-Dirks go maybe just a little bit deeper, went out in that 7th inning and completed it.
Man, what a day for him yesterday. He was fantastic. 19 in a row at one point, 7 innings when it was all said and done. Dug down deep and really did a nice job of finishing off that 7th inning. He might have been running out of gas.
There are a lot of special days in the course of a regular season, but yesterday, Austin Bibbins-Dirks, that was one of those I don't think we'll forget seeing.
Listen, he is a 32-year-old rookie who got a start against Max Scherzer. Now, yeah, you don't have to pitch against the other pitcher you see him, but you know what I mean. It's more about the opposing lineup. Well, that doesn't get any easier because it's a lineup that has Bryce Harper in it and a great offense. And you see the excitement here in the last out, a great offense against the Washington Nationals. That was an inspirational performance last night from Austin Bibbins-Dirks. We've talked about his story a bunch. It never gets old, but he's delivering now in big ways in a big spot against a good team. He went head-to-head with Max Scherzer, and he came out on top. 94 pitches over those 7 innings, just the 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Doug O'Kale was thrilled with that outing from Austin.
It was fun talking to Doug after the game too about it. I said, what in the world did you tell him when you went out there in the 7th inning? You had put 2 men on with 2 out, and we were of a mind that, well, that was probably going to be it. And I said, you were pointing out there like you were pointing out to the center field wall or something. And he said, I told him, I said, look at that scoreboard. You need to bear down and get this next guy. I said, because then you know what? After the game, they're going to say, you know what happened today? Max Scherzer went up against the wrong guy.
That's right.
He went up against Austin Bibbins-Dirks. And
cool.
It didn't work for him. He said, so be that guy. Go get this next hitter. And he did. A strikeout of Robinson Chirinos. And that completes a quiet top of the 7th inning. We're going to the last of the 7th, up by 2.
To our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and we're going to give a little love here to Joey Gallo and the defense tonight. First inning, a good pick on his left side. I think it's a ground ball here, and he makes a smart play. Doesn't try to do too much. There was that temptation to maybe throw that ball to second base, but he takes the sure out. And then later, Adrian Beltre has a throw here in the dirt, and then it's the back pick from Joey Gallo, followed by that signature Joey Gallo smile. He's done a really nice job at first base. You think, oh, when a guy picks it, you don't think too much about it. Nice pick, whatever. When he doesn't pick it, ball goes past him. People run around the bases like crazy. That's when you really start to notice it. Darvish back out there. I wasn't so sure. Never, you see the high fives. You're not sure which ones are the hey, nice play at the end, right? Because he fielded that last ball to finish off the inning. Did he? Never did. I'm not talking about. But anyway, just high fives after, and then there's the. Yeah, I did. I wrote 4-3 on my scorecard.
Well, you're.
What in the world? So my memory was right.
You're right.
My hand wasn't.
You can't trust your scorecard. That's all. 0-2. Carlos Beltran. He got Beltran to ground out 4-3 back at the second inning, and then walked him in the fifth. And it was that walk of the fifth inning that turned into the Astros' only run so far. Curveball, and this one popped up. Right side of the infield. Everybody wants it.
They got a cover over there.
Yeah.
No shortage of fielders on the right side.
Gallo takes care of it. One away. Let's check in again with Leslie McCaslin.
Guys, Gallo has done a good job at first base. Like we talked about, his size is definitely an advantage. He told me, I'm big. I think the infielders like me there because they don't have to make that perfect throw. But of course, the question has been, what happens when Mike Napoli returns? Jeff Bannister talked about that they can move Joey to the outfield. Reminder, that's where he was in spring training. Okay, but then you have Mazara, Delino DeShields. You have Carlos Gomez that's coming back, and Bannister said, well, you know what? That's just a good problem to have.
Exactly. Because one never knows as Darvish dumps one in for a strike to Brian McCann. And the nice thing, too, is that you have such versatility in a guy like Gallo. I don't know how many times a week we hear it from Jeff Bannister. Let's not worry about tomorrow. Let's get through today. We'll talk about tomorrow. And so many times it's turned out, well, one thing or another has come up, and you can't say with much certainty at all what to expect tomorrow. One strike pitch, and Darvish misses low. Well, it does help a manager to have a guy like Gallo, who is such a potent bat, who you can use in so many different ways. Also doesn't hurt to have a future Hall of Famer back in your lineup on a daily basis at third.
I think that's been a big boost here to the Rangers. Also the job that Elvis Andrus has done consistently. Talk about balancing out this lineup, but that guy right there balances out as good as anybody. He's been great at bats right from the beginning, coming off the DL, driving the ball the other way. We already saw that today. The double that he hit to right field. It is really impressive when you get to watch a guy like Adrian Beltre every day and see the impact that he has on this team, both in the lineup, in the field. Still a great defender. Clubhouse, of course, is so important. Leadership qualities. He's a special player.
There's a strikeout of McCann. Pardon me, strike two of McCann. We're getting a little ahead.
Get a little Gurriel in you there, right?
Just a little.
We tried to walk off the field with 2 outs. You're trying to punch out Brian McCann with 2 strikes.
Some of us can see just a little bit further into the future. I try usually to contain it a little bit. Now the 2-2. And he strikes him out swinging. Or do you get a piece? Come on.
Again. Dave Raymond 0 for his last 2 on strikeout calls here.
And he scored.
You just banked on Robinson. Ooh, you know what, though? He almost got it.
Need to hold on. All right. Do this one with my eyes closed. That's just a good chance.
Yeah. Don't say it. Don't say it.
2 out.
Now say it. Now say it. It's safe.
Got him swinging.
Good breaking ball here from you, Darvish. We called that back foot slider, and that's exactly where it ended up. Brian McCann does his part by swinging right over the top. Now we can confirm he just took his helmet off. And he's in the dugout. He is indeed out.
Hey, guess who's up? Gurriel, who is 0 for 2. He's rolled out to third twice. Two out here in the 7th inning. Rangers lead by 2. Darvish over 100 pitches. This one sent out to center field. The Shields is there, and the inning is done. It's a 1-2-3 for you, Darvish. So off to the 8th we go, with the Rangers up by 2. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. Well, Darvish head having a good time at the ballpark tonight. You, Darvish, has pitched very well through 7 innings. All right, no high fives this time. No fist bumps. So
I think he went through the line already. And it's a hug from Doug Brocail. And
all right,
Brocail hugs and Banny hugs are a good sign. I think he went through the line once already. We caught him on the way back.
It would appear.
I think so.
That he would be done. See if the Rangers can get him any more support in this 8th inning. Top of the order. Delano DeShields, Shin-Soo Choo, and then Elvis Andrus. Delano another hit tonight. Base average was .350 coming into today. We take a look at bullpen activity. Keone Keller gets ready.
We really could not have set it up any better after the outing that we just saw from you, Darvish. A solid 7 innings handed over to the bullpen. Clean innings. Certainly puts them in the best opportunity to succeed and finish off this game. And I got to believe that Jeff Bannister would love to go Keller, Matt Bush. Matt Bush now has had a couple of days off after pitching 3 out of 4. Keller did go back-to-back days in Washington. He pitched the first and the second game. And only a third of an inning the first time. But then 2 innings, did a really nice job. Struck out the final 4 hitters that he saw. So it's kind of position A here for Jeff Bannister.
3-1 on DeShields. Keller, while he only won a third of an inning on Friday, he did face a number of hitters. And there's ball 4 to Delano. So on for the 2nd time tonight.
Fans, make sure you join Positive Coaching Alliance on Tuesday, June 27th for their Putt Putt for PCA fundraising event. presented by Insperity. If you believe in a positive character-building experience for youth and high school athletes, join PCA on the 27th and help create better athletes and better people across North Texas. Visit PCANorthTexas.org to learn more.
All right, so DeShields on. Here is Shin-Soo Choo. He shows bunt, drags it first base side in no man's land and beats it out. So a bunt single for Choo, and the first 2 men on in the 8th inning.
Well, perfectly executed from Choo. That's going to bring A.J. Hinch out, which tells me that may be it for Tony Sipp. But watch this. You push it just past the pitcher, draw the first baseman off. The second baseman coming in as well. It was a little higher maybe than Choo wanted it, but ultimately where it landed was in that perfect spot. And Tony Sipp really got caught in between of trying to go after that ball and cover first base.
The perfect spot. So out to the bullpen we go again. Thanks, Dana. Here, a little something building in this 8th inning as the Astros have to go to the bullpen one more time.
Yeah, and you see Diaz now coming in. Pretty good fastball for him. Will sit around 95 miles an hour. It's fastball, slider, changeup. Brings a true 3-pitch mix. That was Andrews, take strike 1.
Andrews with his 15-game hitting streak on the line here. It's the first time tonight that the Rangers have gotten the lead man on in an inning. The walk to DeShields and then Choo with a great bunt. Turn back to second. Whoa, very close out there. Whoa. Delano just got back in.
We know Delano DeShields is going to be a little bit aggressive. He's got the great speed. He's done a nice job, and he's played maybe a little bit closer than Delano wanted. He barely gets that right hand in there.
One strike pitch. And it misses. And Lynn 1-1. Andrews has twice in his career managed a 16-game hitting streak. Trying to tie his career best here tonight. Let's see what he's done with runners in scoring position this season. Very productive. Yesterday was 1 for 4 with a couple of RBIs.
And the Astros are being aggressive as well as far as keeping Delano DeShields close, right? It's not just about the steal, but it's about that secondary lead and trying to keep him from scoring easily on a base hit. Now, it's great speed. It's pretty difficult to do that. There's not too many base hits that Delano DeShields not going to score. On the line drive, maybe that he has to freeze on, but more often than not, he's going to score. But again, this is an offense that believes that they can bounce back, and they're going to try to do everything they can to keep Delano from scoring, including the inside move, which pretty much never, ever works. But you do that just in case you have a runner who's taking off, right? As soon as you lift your leg, if he is actually trying to steal third, that's why you do that inside move. It's that 1 out of 100 times you actually catch a guy leaving there.
Takes a look again. The 1-2. The runners are going. And a swing and a miss. A strike 3, but the throw to second. Oh, time. Chu says no way. Chu's asking him to look. To the naked eye, it looked like he beat it, but
it sure did. We'll get another look at it here and see whether or not this foot got in front of the tag. Nice pick there. Ooh, I tell you what, we'll have to get another angle, but it did appear that maybe he did get in there. And here's Brian McCann, and they decided ahead of time that if there was a double steal, ooh, I think he's going to be safe.
Yeah, I think he's in there.
But they decided ahead of time that any double steal that they were going to throw down to second, which is pretty unbelievable to think, right? That you're not even going to try to throw out Delano DeShields at third. So nice job by Jose Altuve. They got to give him credit. He made a really nice pick and got the tag on Chu as quickly as he could. They're talking about it over there. It's kind of interesting how those conversations go, right?
Yeah.
If you're being honest, you know, like these guys, listen, there's not a lot of ill will between very many big leaguers these days. And Chu's about as nice as a guy there is in the game. So, you know, you wonder, it's like, hey, you know what? I actually think you might have got your foot in there. Like, I wonder if Jose Altuve would say something like that to Chu.
Altuve's a similar mindset. Very easygoing. Very good guy. And when I look back at that replay, the one thing that gives me pause is the way that Altuve was blocking the bag with his left leg. It looked like he had that thing blocked pretty well. So you can make the argument that Chu got his foot in there maybe a little before the tag was applied. The question might then be, well, was it on Altuve's leg or was it on the base? But given that Altuve didn't react, you would think it was on the base. And
if you care about this at all, the reactions that we got in the stadium when they showed it on the big screen, you didn't hear loud cheers.
No, you did not.
They showed it here a couple times where it was more like, ooh, he might have got in there.
Yeah. Now my guess is this one will be overturned and Chu will be safe. Well, let's see. Yes, indeed. So a double steal. Now Andrews struck out, so there is one away. But a great spot now for Adrian Beltre.
Remember, part of that too, I gotta believe that you always run the risk, of course, of hitting into a triple play, but Elvis Andrews had grounded into 12 double plays. That was tied for the most in Major League Baseball. So that's another reason why you're putting those guys in motion. He has had his issues with the double play this year.
Now, we have seen that so much lately. The infield pulled in here. A low strike to Beltre. Adrian with a couple of hits tonight. A base hit in the fourth, hitting a double in the sixth. .45 away from 3,000. Good pick by McCann on the one that bounced up there. Great speed at third base with DeShields. Chu at second. Here's the 1-1. Maybe missed a spot, but got the strike. And it's 1-2. Looked like McCann was looking for that one a little bit more in.
And also, I think gives you an idea how good of a job Brian McCann does behind the plate to still be able to catch a pitch that firm that misses its spot and hold it in the strike zone.
Long set on the 1-2. Oh, and he strikes out Beltr&, 2 away in the 8th inning.
Well, it's a good slider here from Diaz, and you see the sweeping action on it and just finishing off the plate. And Adrian Beltr&, out front. Could not get it. Good pitch. Tight slider.
So a walk and a bunt single to start the inning. But Andrus struck out on the double steal. Beltr&, just punched out. So it's going to be up to Nomar Mazara, who's 0 for 3. Big open stance for Nomar. And he crushes this ball to center field. Springer on the run. He looks up and it is gone! A 3-run homer for Nomar Mazara. And the Rangers open up a big lead in the 8th.
What a roller coaster inning this kind of was here for the Rangers. First 2 runners get on. You're thinking maybe there's a big rally in the works, but then it's back-to-back strikeouts, and all of a sudden looking like maybe not so much. And Nomar Mazara changes that with 1 pitch, and the backdoor slider, and that's what this was supposed to be, is such a dangerous pitch if you do not hit your spot and you leave it out over the middle of the plate, and that's exactly what Diaz did. He was trying to shoot for that corner, backdoor it off the plate, maybe get a called strike, but instead that pitch split the plate. Nomar Mazara split it in half.
Well, that is a big shot by Nomar Mazara. Now Jonathan Lucroy, who's 1 for 3. Mazara's 8th home run gives him 44 RBIs for the year. Most importantly, a 5-run lead in the 8th inning. Ties up Lucroy. 0-2.
That's not something you see too often from Jonathan Lucroy, but coming out of Diaz's hand, that pitch looked like it might have caught the inside corner, and then just kept running in and bearing in on his hands, and he could not stop himself.
Little bouncer, third base side. And handled cleanly by Bregman. Lucroy is out, but a big 3-run homer from Nomar Mazara. The Rangers now up by 5.
High-speed replay. We're going to go back to not that long ago, last inning, first pitch slider, and Diaz thought maybe he could get away with the first pitch strike, but not in an RBI situation. Nomar Mazara crushes a 3-run home run to center field, and that is our AT&T high-speed replay of the evening. A pretty good bubble to go along with that homer.
On a night where Darvish surrendered 1 hit through 7 innings. And now gives it over to the bullpen, but a 6-1 lead. Jeremy Jeffress is on to face the 8, 9, and then leadoff hitters in this bottom of the 8th inning.
And here's the arsenal from Jeremy Jeffress. And the fastball's got great velocity, sitting around 96 miles an hour this year. It's got even better movement. He threw really well in his last outing. It's also going to be the curveball and the changeup. But it is all about the good 2-seam fastball from Jeremy Jeffress. The great movement that he has on that pitch. Command, of course, always key. And the only issue he ever runs into, sometimes it gets a little sideways on him instead of that really good downward movement.
Bregman has walked and singled in this one, and lifts this one high in the air to center field. Hoying, who just came on defensively, makes a catch, one away in the 8th.
Well, how about this on Saturday? The first 15,000 fans are going to get themselves a Nomar Mazara Big Chill Cooler backpack, courtesy of Dairy Max. That game is going to be against the Seattle Mariners. That game starts at 4:05, and tickets are available at TexasRangers.com.
One out now, and Noriaoki 0 for 2. That's a strike on the inside corner. So Jeffress on for Darvish. 7 innings pitched, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts for Darvish. And a 1 run on 1 hit. Excellent effort once again from a Rangers starter, and that has been right now the theme of this road trip. Back foot slider, and that one may have indeed hit Aoki's back foot.
Some confusion there from CB Buckner, but yes, the call was made, and that one just kind of took off and caught the left foot of Aoki and sent him not to the ground, but actually in the air first. And you watch this, and I'll tell you what, that angle, you see him right away pointing to his toe. Jeff Bannister wants to talk about it.
Vanny may be asking them to take a look at this one.
Wow,
indeed.
He's got a challenge left. They got the last one right. We'll see. That was a quick decision. They saw something that they liked.
Seems, you know, look, you get to this stage of the game, and you still have your review, so why not? But I just think that type of play is going to be hard for a replay official back in New York to say with clarity, no, that did not hit him. It's just that's a tricky review right there.
I agree.
Aoki currently. Let's see if we see anything on super slow-mo. Boy, I tell you what, on that look, you might be able to make a pretty good argument.
Look, I love this. Look at this. Look at his face. And I laugh now because he didn't get hurt. And I've seen that before from him, where he's jumped up that way for balls that are at his feet. But I think Mr. Aoki may be hitting again. All right, now what? You're pointing at him. What? Yeah, we know where he is. What's the call? I guess so. I guess it was there. You can stay there. That was the message. You may stay there.
Nice. Aoki hit by the pitch. And it turns the lineup over to George Springer. Springer 0 for 3. And 3 groundouts. Everything over to that left side of the field tonight off the bat of Springer. Shoots this one the other way, foul. Jeffress got a fly ball out. And then the hit batter. Springer with a slow bouncer short. Quick underhand toss to second base, and that's all that the Rangers will even attempt. A 6-4 force out there. Springer on via the fielder's choice.
A smart play by Ellis Andrus and Ruben Odor not to try to overdo this a little bit, understanding the good speed of George Springer and that slow chopper, and they just go ahead and take the one out.
2 away now for Marwin Gonzalez. Hey, watch every out-of-market regular season game live on MLB.TV Premium on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Just go to MLB.TV for details. Gonzalez came in as a defensive replacement very early in the game. Josh Reddick left with a mild concussion. Reddick 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out. Gonzalez struck out in the 4th inning, walked in the 6th. Six runs, 8 hits for the Rangers. 1 run, just 1 hit today for the Astros, and that was the Bregman bloop single in the 5th inning. It was very nearly caught by Nomar Mazara. The ball was just very tough to read off the bat.
Can you imagine if the game finishes out that way, where that is the only hit? Nothing. I mean, listen, certainly not anything against Nomar Mazara. I'm not sure he could have done anything better. Gave his best effort, laid out for it, just missed it, fell a little bit short. But that would be pretty incredible to think that would be the only one we've seen so far.
A little visit now. Chirinos and Jeffress want to get together. Springer on via the fielder's choice down at first base. Really haven't had a chance to point out, but one of the really good guys in the sport as well. Springer yesterday after the Astros game hosted his all-star bowling benefit. Here's the 3rd year in a row. And George Springer, a guy who has lived with a stutter ever since he was a little kid, and now uses this event to help families who have children who stutter to Camp Say, which is a real neat camp for youngsters working with stutters of their own. It's a pitch off the plate. And it's 2 and 1 on Gonzalez.
What a great event. You think about the struggles for kids and the pressure, and peer pressure, and some of the teasing probably that comes along, and you got a hero and a big league ball player and a star in George Springer, someone that kids can look up to. Give them the confidence to work through the issues that he has also had to work through.
Gonzalez fouls that one away. It's 2 and 2. Yeah, pretty neat. He was a 1st-round pick, and I'll tell you what, man, an unbelievable athlete, a guy from Connecticut. His mom, I think, was a gymnast, and he learned a lot of gymnastics as well. I mean, he's just got overall incredible athleticism. And fans, you get to see it all the time in the outfield. He makes a lot of highlight reel plays. Off first to the pitch to Gonzalez, sails just a little bit wide. It's a full count.
How about this? You remember, so he got his first opportunity in 2014, but do you remember in 2013, in September, the Astros actually tried to offer him a multi-year deal before he ever got to the big leagues. And it would have been one of those, crazy, unbelievably cheap, team-friendly deals. Maybe something similar like we saw with Salvador Perez, right, when he had that, 5-year, $8 million contract, something crazy. And George Springer turned it down. It takes some courage to do when you're in the minor leagues. That's certainly not an easy thing to do by any means. But he did, but then he didn't get called up either.
Right.
So there was some controversy there a little bit, and saying, well, they're holding it against him. And he had kind of a rough spring, didn't make the team necessarily out of camp the next year. Anyway, he's a super true guy now, and and everything's going along fine. But it's interesting to see how they tried to play that whole situation. George Springer didn't bite, and he will be richer for it now.
Yes, he will. He'll be off and running here. The 3-2 pitch, and it's spoiled foul by Gonzalez. There were a lot of other interesting side details to that story that emerged over time, but an unusual situation for George Springer, to say the least. And the sounds of it, all the facts that have been made public over time, he handled it really well and professionally. What would have been a very challenging spot for most people. Jeffress trying to complete this 8th inning, and his 3-2 pitch is low. Gonzalez takes the walk. And that Bush been warming up out of that bullpen. You know that Jeff Bannister would much prefer to see Jeffress get through this 8th on his own.
Yeah, clean inning certainly would be ideal. Robinson Chirinos is out there right now trying to navigate Jeremy Jeffress through this last out. Now Doug Brocail is going to join in on the conversation. This could be about giving Matt Bush maybe a little bit more time, right? Robinson went out, and then after he was done, Doug Brocail decided to go out. They want to talk a little strategy here. Obviously got a tough hitter in Jose Altuve, but aggressiveness is what you want, right? It's a 5-run lead. Jose Altuve only represents the 4th run potentially. You just don't want to walk him, of course, and Carlos Correa to the plate. So while yes, you do have a tough route right now, Jose Altuve, aggressiveness in the strike zone is what Doug Brocail wants to see here. And this actually should be a decent matchup. I mean, listen, Jose Altuve is a great hitter, but he's a very good high ball hitter. So you think about the good fastball that Jeremy Jeffress has. It's got sinking action, stays down in the zone. That's the spot you want to go with the fastball to Altuve. You want to keep it down, not up, unless you go up out of the zone.
Hitless so far tonight, 1 for 4 in his career against Jeremy Jeffress, and there's strike 1. Jeffress got Bregman to fly out to center. He hit Aoki on the back foot. Springer then reached on a fielder's choice, and Gonzalez just a moment ago with that walk. Altuve, one hopper, second base, and Odor hustles it over to first in time. Inning over. So the Astros leave a pair. We go to the 9th. Rangers in front by 5. Head to the 9th. Hey, Baylor fans, Fox Sports Southwest wants you to show your school spirit at a Texas Rangers game. You can get discounted tickets for the Friday, June 16th game against the Mariners and a free Rangers cap. and bears green and gold colors. That's while supplies last. Go to TexasRangers.com/Baylor for more details. A lot of Rangers fans here tonight, and they've been making some noise at some times after that Mazara home run. Rangers fans did a real good job of filling this ballpark with cheers. It was interesting.
Good to see. Of course, we get some Astros fans that come up to Arlington and get in the way a little bit. Some Rangers fans now returning the favor down here in Houston. Good to see.
Diaz out for another inning here in the 9th inning, and Odor fouls off his first offering. Rudy with the triple earlier, 1 for 3. Rangers got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th, 3 runs in the 8th inning. Trying to start this 6-game road trip with 4 consecutive wins. They swept the Washington Nationals and have the 5-run lead here tonight. A lot of questions before the ball game today about who the Rangers may start tomorrow. There are a couple of options, but Nick Martinez, provided no weird activities between now and then, or in this ball game, would likely be the man to get the ball tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Astros have had to juggle things and figure things out themselves. They brought Musgrove back off the disabled list today to make the start. He went 4 2/3. A.J. Hinch has said tomorrow it'll be Brad Peacock. Now, they're not real sure how much they can get out of Peacock tomorrow. One in there for a strike. It's 2-2 to Odor.
That'll be short rest, right, for Peacock coming back as they sit there and try to juggle things and get this figured out here in Houston, where all of a sudden the rotation has just become a huge question mark. It'll be interesting. Like I said, they used Davinsky tonight, but they didn't push him too hard. But he is that valuable guy when you have a short outing, and they had a short outing. It was just 3 innings from Peacock, but he did throw 76 pitches, and it's actually pretty close to his season high. He's only made 4 starts now, so you wonder how this thing will work out. But certainly the Astros are not losing any sleep, or excuse me, the Rangers are not losing any sleep over the Astros issues right now.
Odor waiting on a payoff pitch. It's on the way. We'll see another. Which we just saw Peacock on that homestand not long ago. He went 6 real good innings in the final game of that series back on, I guess it was June 4th. He struck out 9 in those 6 innings. Was really sharp. Payoff pitch. This ball hit sharply. Fair ball down the first base line, and Karam's out to right field. Odor will have to settle for the leadoff single. That one hit so sharply. Aoki able to pick up the Karam and prevent him from going to second base.
This ball's ripped down the right field line from Rougned Odor. A fastball, it was down and in, but he caught it way out front and on time, and the Astros catch a break as this ball hits right in the corner and shoots to Aoki, and there's no chance of getting a double on that one.
Second inning in a row that the Rangers have got the lead man on. Last inning it led to 3 runs. Joey Gallo. Triple, the walk, the strikeout. It's funny, Gallo gets a hit today, not a home run, but it's an extra base hit nonetheless, and that has been the story for him this year. When he puts it in play in fair territory, you should be looking for extra bases. Gallo, 41 hits now this year, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 17 home runs among those 40 hits.
He slugs. OPS of 827. When you look at the on-base percentage, which is, of course, going to be a little bit lower because of the lower batting average, but the slugging is up there. And it's been a good year for Joey Gallo as he continues to make progress. Another guy who's aggressive early in the counts, got some good numbers on first pitches when he gets strikes. And we pointed out earlier the great defense that he's been playing all of a sudden at first base. Did a nice job filling in for Adrian Beltre at third. We knew that wasn't going to last all season. Once Adrian got back, Joey slid over to the other side of the diamond and has been a huge contributor there.
Door off first. 2-0. Gallo took a big cut at that one. 2-1 the count.
A monster shift on again here for Joey Gallo, and this is where either Alex Bregman or Brian McCann or even the pitcher Diaz have to be careful on in-ground ball. You think about, say, anything that takes Bregman back up to the middle of the field, or even a stolen base where Ruby could pop up and keep running to third because there's nobody there. How many times you've seen that over the course of a shift? So the other fielders have to be weary of that on any ball that's put in play, or like I said, stolen base.
6-1 Rangers lead the opening game of this 3-game series. Rudy with a decent lead. 2-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Odor saw 7 pitches in his at bat before getting his base hit, and now Gallo making Diaz work a little bit more in the second at bat of the inning. Diaz came on, he got the final, actually got all 3 outs in the 8th inning, coming on a relief of Tony Sipp. This will be his 25th pitch in this appearance. 2-2. And it's a full count. Joey Gallo not to be outdone. Awaits the 7th pitch of his at bat. And here it comes. There's a swing and a miss. Odor was on the run, and he'll have a steal of second. So Gallo strikes out, but Odor, with his 6th stolen base, is now in scoring position. All right, getting ready for tomorrow and our AT&T matchup. Nomar Mazara leading the way offensively. How about that? 9 RBIs in the last 6 games. And Jose Altuve, always the heart and soul of things for these Astros. Middle game of the 2-game series. Our coverage beginning at 6:30 tomorrow night here on Fox Sports Southwest. This one gets away from McCann, and Odor able to easily trot to third base. I'm not real sure what happened on that one.
I think it caught CB Buckner's shin guard. You see him now actually fixing his shin guard around the home plate area. So I think that went through Brian McCann and then just kind of nicked CB Buckner's shin guard. Let's take a little bit of a closer look here.
Oh, got the plate. That's always a killer.
Skips a little bit.
Wild pitch then has Odor at third base, and that will pull the infield in. Thing shot so quickly. This pitch, this one popped up behind home plate and out of play. Now Torino's 0 for 3 tonight. Did not play yesterday, the day game in Washington. National League style. Lucroy had the start behind the plate. Chirinos, though, on Saturday, he's the man who delivered the big 3-run homer in the 11th inning. And what would end up being one of 2 come from behind wins in Washington. We had a crowd tonight. Announced attendance 25,698 here. It has thinned out considerably in these late innings. And this is one of those places, there are a couple, especially with the roof closed like it is tonight, where when you get a little thinner crowd, you can pick up some individual voices down there on the field. And
heckler's dream, right?
Yes,
We talked about it.
It's like being on the other side of the lake, right? Where you can almost mumble something to somebody, and on the other side of the lake, they hear it clearly. 2-2 the count.
The game is slowed down here significantly. Diaz is a slow worker in between. It seems like even more so he has been more deliberate in between pitches. You see him having the ball. Now, of course, he got a new ball from the umpire, but he's kind of taking his time. I went and looked real quick at his pace number. We talk about that a lot of times, time in between pitches. He's over 28 seconds in between pitches.
Swing and a miss by Chirinos. And that is now 4 strikeouts for Diaz in this relief appearance. He has recorded 5 outs, 4 of them swinging strikeouts, and out of the top of the order for Jared Hoying. Hoying's first at bat of the night. Came in defensively for DeShields. Shields finished the night 1 for 3 with a walk. Another very good night for Delino up at the top of the order. One and one. Hoying at 232 average. Just, quite a challenge for a guy who does not get regular at bats. He has done, though, a tremendous job defensively. Carlos Gomez went down onto the disabled list. Rangers needed some help defensively in center field. Called Hoying up, and he's done a masterful job as this one runs way in, and it's 2-1.
He's done a great job in the outfield. That little bit of the issue, the one play right in DC for him, which he took it kind of hard and misreading a ball. And just he told you what after the game, he took a little bit of a bonehead play, just kind of lost track of what was going on. But he has been an excellent defensive substitution, and the times that he has gotten his starts as well.
2-2 now on Hoying. Let's check in with Leslie McCaslin.
Well, guys, a couple of Rangers are getting healthy. Tyson Ross feeling good after 2 rehab starts. He'll likely make his Rangers debut, Bannister said, on Friday. Then Carlos Gomez is here with the team. He's going to work out here, go to Frisco for 2, maybe 3 games. That's up in the air, but hopefully he'll be back with the team this weekend.
All right, that's good stuff. Oh, boy, such a lift coming. And both these teams, right, every team really working to get certain guys back to help them out. AJ Hinch has 4 of his projected starters in his rotation currently on the disabled list. The Rangers have a couple of big arms that they've been missing, and guys like Carlos Gomez. So everybody dealing with their own issues, but with each of those that you get back, things can get a lot better very quickly. The 3-2. And Hoying strikes out swinging 2 in the ninth. Nice job by Diaz. Get 3 more strikeouts. We go to the last of the 9th inning. Rangers by 5. Ninth inning here. Rangers with the 5-run lead, and Jeffress dealing with the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Astros. Carlos Correa 0 for 3, leading things off. And he takes strike 1. Correa took a rare day off yesterday. And in there today, hitless so far.
He's pretty good on that fastball down, and we talk about where you want to go with your fastball. And so for Jeremy, he's doing a great match.
And hit well out to left center field and hits off the facing of that bullpen. It'll be a leadoff double for Correa.
Well, our dreams of the only one hit tonight, not going to happen, but see this two-seam fastball and actually stays elevated, which is the better spot to go. Carlos Correa is very good down and in against the right-handed fastball, and Jimmy tried to bring that one up a little bit more, but he's able to pull the hands in and square it up pretty well. Carlos Correa is a good hitter, very difficult to keep down. I mentioned the 0 for 3 coming into that at bat with a couple of strikeouts, but he gets himself on the board with the double.
So Carlos Beltran, he takes strike 1. He walked in the 5th inning. Two hits tonight for this Astros team. They have managed a run out of it so far. Jefferson, his 2nd inning in relief. There goes 1-1 on Beltran. Darvish, 7 innings tonight. And so far, only Jeffress been called upon out of the pen, while the Astros got 4 2/3 out of Joe Musgrove, then Chris Davinsky, Tony Sipp, and then Diaz, who pitched the last 2 innings.
But Jeffress really cannot worry about Carlos Correa. Leadoff double in this kind of game. Leading by 5, you start thinking about, okay, well, just got to stay away from the beginning. You don't want things to get out of control. So you forget about Correa. You focus on Carlos Beltran. Even if he advances the runner, the key, of course, here now is to make sure you get him out. Get that first out of the inning. Get things going in your direction.
2-2 now on Beltran. Beltran now hitless in his last 8 at-bats. Did have that walk, as I mentioned, in the 5th inning, and scored on the Bregman bloop single to left. Switch hitter, now 40 years old, in the 2-2. And turns that sharply foul. I don't know what it is about Beltran. He has what looks like a very relaxed swing.
Yes.
The ball just seems to come off his bat disproportionately harder than he seems to swing.
It's not a loud swing. It's not an aggressive swing. It's not an overswing, right? It's smooth, especially when you watch him here from the left side. He's kind of really like that both ways, but especially lefty, but it's short into the ball, and he knows how to square it up.
Takes this one out into short right field. Chu racing in and able to get there for out number 1. Well, he was playing deep. And that ball was just deep enough that it was going to be a little bit of a challenging play for Odor.
Yeah, it was a long run here for Chu, and then you had Jared Hoying, who was also playing deep. Long run for everybody, but there's a lot of hang time here. This kind of situation, you are playing a little bit deeper. No doubles, you don't want anything over your head necessarily. I think you're going to give up singles to do it, but you can play maybe a couple of steps deeper, especially with Carlos Beltran up and now Brian McCann as well. 2 lefties with some full power.
Well, McCann hitless so far tonight in 3 tries. Rangers with the 3 infielders on the right side. Jeffress right in there with strike 1. Talked about it earlier. Can a little more selective, more patient a hitter this year than he has been in past years. Among American League catchers, he's about as powerful as you get. So he takes a low strike and is in a hole here, 0-2. Ken with 9 home runs, only Salvi Perez with more homers out of the catcher position this year. Jeffress out in front of him, 0-2. A little tight. Well, for the last couple of years, this has been a series dominated by the Rangers, and that script was flipped this year. Astros had taken 6 of the first 7 in this head-to-head series this year, and there's strike 3 called. McCann down looking, 2 away in the 9th.
This is a very, very nice pitch from Jeremy Jeffress. We're going to see a fastball here that explodes at the end, and watch the movement as well. Look at this thing. That is perfect. Nice job receiving there by Robinson Chirinos, giving C.B. Buckner a really nice look. But that is at the knees. That is perfect from Jeremy Jeffress.
So 2 gone. Correa still out there at second base. And Gurriel, the hitter, he's 0 for 3. Rangers looking for just their 2nd win over the Astros this year. Their last win was the last time these 2 teams played here. Thursday afternoon game, the first week of May. 4-game series, and the Rangers would manage that win before heading off to Seattle. On the 1 strike pitch, that is outside. He evens the count on Gurriel. The Astros off to the best start in the American League this year, 44-20. They've lost 4 of their last 6, however. Have a 12-game lead in the division. Gurriel right over the top of that one. It's 1-2. Well, Houston's built a pretty nice pad at this point of the season. The Rangers, meanwhile, 13 games out. They're just trying to get their house straight right now.
They have that nice cushion. We mentioned it earlier as far as using that 10-day DL to their advantage. If it was a little bit tighter, maybe they wouldn't be pushing as many guys on, but they can afford to give a couple guys a little bit of a break, especially I think in the case of McCullers, where it sounds like it's his back, and we talked about earlier about the innings as well, but it's a comfortable lead right now in the American League West. Not that you celebrate until you cross the finish line, but I think you feel a little bit more comfortable. Or if you're leaning either way, yeah, go ahead and put the guy in the DL that can afford to do that right now.
Now 2 out here. Jeffress trying to close up the final 2 innings of this one. This 1-2 to Gurriel. Just in. Squares things up at 2-2. Chirinos and Jeffress talk things over once again. Gurriel usually very aggressive. Waits on a 2-2. Here it comes. And this one hit out to left field. Mazara is there, and this one is over. The Rangers take the opener in Houston 6-1, and they've won 4 straight.
Well, nice job by you, Darvish, who delivered a great start here tonight for the Texas Rangers. We talked about it before the game, how comfortable he is pitching here. At Minute Maid, he does an excellent job in this one as well. Nomar Mazara, of course, with the big home run to really kind of blow this thing open. As we'll take a look at the home run here from Nomar Mazara. It was a first pitch situation, and he jumps all over that slider from Diaz and crushes it to dead center field. And that, for me, was the final blow that really blew that game open. Jimmy Jeffers took over the rest of the way, but a nice night overall here for the Texas Rangers, playing some very good baseball. Got some great pitching, some great hitting, some great defense from Joey Gallo. We talked about that as well. So a good evening.